Hello, 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 and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I am your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. I love everything. I'm very, yes, but I love everything, and I'm greedy because I want to have my cake and eat it too. Why wouldn't I?
You can't do that.
Why can't I have my cake and eat it? Isn't
Nope.
cake there for me to eat?
Look,
Oh,
you may be sincere, but you're not honest.
well, just okay. Well, whatever. Give me 10. I'll take 10 then. Still give me 10.
Well, I'm David Healy, and I'm excited to do this podcast with you because you always put me at ease.
Mm,
Me at ease.
you ready? I don't know what it's about.
Me at ease. You put me at ease. You put me at ease. And I appreciate that. You put me at ease. You get it? Put me at. Look, she left. She didn't even get it, so she left. What the heck?
Or I just want to come say hey.
Oh, hey, look. We are together. Surprise.
Doesn't happen often,
It doesn't.
but here it is.
It was her birthday, so I had to come visit her.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go because feedback.
Okay. I think somebody pulled her, so I'm going to try not to be too jealous while she's getting pulled. No, but it's going to be a fun time. We're going to chat. We're going to chat together, but separate.
Yes.
Together, but separate.
That's how we do things. But it works better for us. Anyway, y'all, yeah, it's my birthday weekend and David came. And so, of course, we had the podcast still because that's what we do. Duh. But we are here. We are talking all things competitive reality television. Um, it's Reality Roundup. We're giving you all our highlights for the week on all the shows we're covering on this channel and not covering on this channel, but just everything though. But if you haven't subscribed to this channel, you should do that because we're cool people and we're giving you all the information. So follow us on this channel and all of our other channels. All the links will be in the description below, as well as our audio podcast links, our Patreon, and all of our socials at The Cut Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. We're trying to get 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year, and we're halfway there. We're halfway through the month. We're
Cut
halfway
month,
there.
which I don't have.
You should get that too at lanascreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below, and the QR code is at the right of the screen. So you should get that cut mug, period. And yeah, we're trying to get 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year. We're halfway through the year. We're halfway through our subscribers. A lot of fun things open up when we get there. Some fun things have opened up for us already. So thank you to those who have subscribed. We truly, truly appreciate you. We got some super hypes. We got some hype to hype this video up. Hype us up. Like if you we can do that now. That's fun. Hype us up, super chats and super thanks and all those things are open now for us. And we love that. And we truly, truly, truly appreciate you guys for sticking by us and sending us comments. Our faithfuls, Janae, we see you, girl.
Yes,
Period.
Janae.
Period.
You're
We
watching
love
your
that.
show.
Watch your show, get your snacks, get your popcorn on, girl. We love that. And everybody else who is watching, send us a comment. We'll shout you out too, because we love that. So David, I think we have to do what we have to do. Just because you're here and it's my birthday, don't mean we can get off track and off schedule. So we got to do what we got to do. And let's start. Well, we start off with our singing and variety shows. Well, first, as always, and I've started to really, really enjoy this show very much, more and more every time I see it. Um, it's Chopped Castaways. I know you're like, why are y'all talking about a cooking show? Why are we doing it? Because I like it. I enjoy it. and don't judge me. Let me be me. Thank you. But no, I enjoy Chopped Castaway, and we're going to talk about it because this week teams were no more. No more teams. No more teams on Chopped
No more
Castaway.
teams.
No, it's all about the personal chef, what they could do. Oh, I don't like this layup. Oh no, I just saw that for the first
We're
time.
tiny.
We're too tiny. I didn't like it. I like big. Bigger is better. Um, but yeah, it's all about what the chefs can do on their own. And I love that. I'm a fan of that. I I personally thought going in, I was like, okay, we're definitely going to see who I think is the front runner and who the front runners are going to shine and going to excel, and that is what's going to happen. And Chop said, "Hold on, wait a minute. Before we get started, we gonna throw you a little twisty twist in here. Yes, you're solo, but we got a little twist for you. Your basket is somewhere out there, and you gotta find it. And the only thing you have to find it is this compass we're going to give you." And I was like, "A compass? What do you mean? What? You're not gonna give me no map? You just gonna give me a compass? I can't read a compass. Can you read a compass?"
I mean, I think I can, yeah, because you just turn and then like it will point. It'll say if it's pointing at like north, northeast, whatever. But that's not what would throw me off with this. What would throw me off is like, okay, go 32 steps north. And I'm like, okay, I'm pointing north, but how big
Mm-hmm.
is a step?
Right.
Because like I know it's 12 inches, but like I don't have memorized how big that is. So I think we saw a lot of people like thinking, oh, if I take one pace, that's one
Right.
step. And no, that's not the case. Like some people have shorter paces, some people have longer paces. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that was really throwing off a few people. But yeah, I was like,
Absolutely.
that's tough.
That's tough. I was not prepared for it. I was like, I don't think I like it. But okay, let's see it. And I knew from the second Steven said, "Oh, I was in the army. I know how to read a compass. I'm gonna be a breeze at this." I was like, he is going to be lost and confused. And I was right. That man, he was just lost. He was just lost. Um, but Paulette, baby, she found that basket so fast. And I was like, yes, girl. We called her as a secret assassin in this game, somebody who was
Mhm.
going to surprise people. And she surprised everybody by finding her basket the fastest. And you
Like
have,
two and a
if
half minutes.
yeah, it
It
was
was quick.
very short in time. Like she was like northwest so many feet, northeast so many feet. Bam, done. Give me my. And so she was able to pick her station first, and the stations were dwindling down with each person finding it. So some people may not have had a space. It was a possibility. Some people couldn't get fire. Just different things that could happen. But Paulette found hers first, and then um
I wrote
I
it
want
down,
John
the
Paul.
order.
John Paul. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
John
Yeah.
Paul was
Yeah.
next. Yeah.
He was. Well, first of all, I thought Aiden would be first because I'm like, well, Aiden's good at everything, so it's probably going to be him first. So I was thrilled when Paulette pulled out the first one, and she was smart to pick the smaller
Small
space that she
table.
was
Uh-huh.
comfortable with, so she didn't have to share with anybody. But yeah, we had John Paul second, then Hannah was third,
Mm-hmm.
Aiden was fourth, so I was
Mm-hmm.
way off with him. Logan was fifth, Ara was sixth, and then we had somebody just looking,
Looking.
looking.
Steven was just looking around like, I don't. He was just looking. I think he was the person had he had under an hour in time to
Yeah, it was.
prepare.
He spent 25 because they get an hour and 15 minutes. He
Yeah.
spent over 25 minutes looking for his thing. So that gives him
Mm-hmm.
50 minutes compared to Paulette, who has like almost the full hour and 15 minutes.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So they get their basket, and the basket ingredients was a guinea hen, guava, breadfruit seeds, and blood sausage. And I was like, I don't know how they go together, but all right, make it work. And they made it work for the most part. Like I figured this. I was like, Aiden is going to be that person who's going to do well with the amount of time that he had. So I wasn't concerned about his time. But
Yep.
Paulette she had so much time to just like when she presented her plate at the end, I was like, oh, she had all the time because it looked like a well composed, put together dish served up right and presentation with like she had the time to take her time with stuff and it looked good. But just watching them cooking with the time and sharing the spaces that they had to share, trying to make sure they had the fires that they needed. It was just it was a lot of it was a dance. I will say it was a dance watching them just move and do it. Um, Once Steven got back, he still had to deal with his hen and having the least amount of time. And this hen, the breast of the hen is usually very dry, so you have to put a lot of moisture into it. And a lot of people, that's what everybody was talking about. You're like, it's dry. You don't want to, dry it out, and you got to keep the moisture in, and blah 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 blah. And he just didn't have the time to do much of anything with his meat. So it was frustrating for him, I'm sure, but it was frustrating to watch him have to deal with that too, because he was just like he gets so frustrated towards the end of it. He kind of just like and like you have to throw up his hands, like I don't know what to do with this little time that I have. Um, he didn't even get all four ingredients in his basket on the plate, which is that's an automatic chop. Like if this was normal chop, he's automatically chopped out of this game. But in this game, is you're automatically. I was like, oh, he's going to the gauntlet. I don't care what happens. I don't care what anybody else does. He's going to the gauntlet.
He knew too. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was the guava he didn't get on there.
yeah.
The moisture thing I thought was interesting because, like, well, I wouldn't think about that. But Aiden, I thought he had an interesting strategy to like use the blood sausage to actually moisturize the guinea
Hmm.
hen. But I'll be honest, like, of all the times they've spent like actually cooking in the various episodes, this was the least like standout moments for me, except the random cameos we got. I love the
No,
cameos.
I thought about you the second I saw that. I was like, not us get David is going to eat this up.
Yes, because we got a dog. They even had like a Chiron calling him Fuzzy Butt, and I love Fuzzy Butt. And then during the presentation,
Horse.
we saw this random horse in the background, and the cameraman was following it. And same, I would have done that too. I would have zoomed in. I'd be like, wait, what show am I filming? I'm filming a horse.
It was.
I love
I
animals.
literally thought about you the second I was like, not this random dog. They will love that. Then the random horse came out. I was like, not this random horse. What is happening? But I'm like, we do have to understand it's animals on this island. It's people who live on this island. So yeah, it's gonna be animals around. So I was like, oh, that would have. It was a little. I was like, where is this coming from? But okay, good on the horse. Look, the horse made a special appearance in the dog. I love it for them.
What if somebody was like, you know what? Nobody said I can't use them as an ingredient. And
That
start
would have been
chasing the dog with a bunch of. They would
would
have been immediately my least favorite person.
been immediately my least favorite person because what do you mean? What do you mean? So you're taking somebody's pet or some wild animal, you just go eat it? Like that's crazy. But yeah, it was nice to see it. But Ara was the winner of this challenge actually because they loved his hen. They said he had the best presentation of the hen and the way it was cooked. He cooked it. This man is never gonna let go of his skewers. He brought his skewers for a reason. He gonna use his skewers every single time he can. And I think this was the perfect time to use it because they didn't have a lot of time to cook this meat. Cutting it small, skewering it helps compact the heat to cook it quicker all the way through. And so I love that he did that and he cooked it, and it turned out to be some of the best meat that they had. And John Paul also had a really good cook on his meat that they liked. That was really really good. And but
Wasn't there a piece that wasn't cooked all the way through for JP?
oh wait, that was JP. That was JP. It wasn't cooked. It wasn't cooked all the way through. Him. It
Which he
wasn't him.
made
It
it seem
was
like, oh, I put it on there for like it. like decoration as
Like, right.
a rosy. Like what?
You can't put no uncooked meat as decoration on a plate. That's crazy. But yeah, it was something that they liked of his. I think it was his sauces that they liked, but they couldn't eat the meat. But yeah, Ara wins, has it. But we already said Steven was going to the gauntlet because he did not he put guava on his plate, and he definitely did. And they didn't like the way Hannah cooked the food either. I think it was the breadfruit seeds and then her hen was not, it was overcooked or something was overcooked. It just wasn't right. But it ended up being Hannah and Steven who are going to the gauntlet. Both of them were excited about going to the gauntlet because they were able to. Steven wanted to show that he could do this. They were like, he was like, I'm a warrior. I could do this and, show that I can do it. And Hannah was like, I need to prove myself. Like, the gauntlet is a chance to prove yourself. So seeing Steven and Hannah in the gauntlet, I okay, so here's my thing. We said it last week, and we were like the weaker links of this cast. We knew who they were because last week Steven was heavily relying on Aiden and I think it was Aiden and Paulette.
Paulette.
And so he was really, dependent on them. And he's been the weaker chef, in my opinion, for a little bit, always
Yeah.
doing, and he doesn't have good time management when he's cooking in that time. And so he's trying to make this. The ingredients for the gauntlet: coconuts, short ribs, capers, and fermented taro poi. And like he's very excited about the ingredients because the ingredients go along with his style of cooking. He's from Hawaii. That boy is from Hawaii. He's had it his whole life. Coconuts and short ribs. He's like, short ribs, I make short ribs. Now short ribs you gotta cook for a long time. And they had 30 minutes. So you have to figure out a new way to cook this meat all the way through. And he had a good idea. He has good ideas. It's just the technique of getting it done. And he just doesn't have good time management, and that's where he fell behind again. I don't know why they both waited to the last minute to put this meat on the fire. Both of
Yeah.
them. Hannah was waited to the last minute, but she at least was heating her pan up so it was nice and hot so you can put it on and it can cook it faster. He was making this dish that he made, and it cost to fry the short ribs, and he cut it and pounded down as much as he could, but it was still thick, and pounding down didn't help, and he put it in the fire like 4 minutes or like
Yeah.
4 minutes left. I'm like, you saw how big that piece of meat was, and 4 minutes. It was just like, there's no way. When he pulled that out, I was like, there's no way that meat is cooked. There's no way them ribs are cooked. And
Yeah.
baby, he cut
I'm
them ribs
surprised
over.
either of them weren't. Yeah, because Hannah waited till 10 minutes left.
Yeah, yeah. But like I said, at least she had her pan so hot that it'll cook it faster, the searing hot pan. And she cut the pieces down into little pieces so it can cook little pieces, which I'm like, that's what you need to do. You need to cut this meat either as thin as you possibly can if you want to fry it, or small pieces if you go pan sear it. But man, it just didn't do right. And like I said, when he pulled it out, I was like, there's no way. There's no way that meat is cooked. And he
Yeah.
cut it, and you could see it was nowhere near cooked. I
Yeah,
felt
he
bad for
knew
him, though.
immediately. Yeah, like immediately when he was done, put it on the plate. He like throws his towel because he's like, I'm going home.
He knew it because it was bad. And, he went home because you can't feed the judges uncooked meat. Like, and Hannah's was good, but she still had some flaws on her plate as well, but it was better than uncooked meat. So he went home. I'm not surprised. No one's surprised. I still think, I'll ask you, is your front runner still your front runner?
Yeah, I mean it's hard to imagine a scenario where Aiden is going to drop for me, but I still like really like even this episode solidified Paulette because I think Paulette probably had the second best dish And Aiden, this was the most critical they've ever been of him too.
Yeah.
But I still think it's between those two, but I'm definitely strongly leaning towards Aiden.
Yeah. I am leaning more towards Paulette at this point. I think Paulette is someone I still think my top three is Paulette, Aiden, and now Ara. Because I don't think Hannah
Okay,
is there
Hannah's bumped
anymore.
out.
Yeah, Hannah's bumped out. And honestly, I think Logan is my dark horse.
Okay.
I think Logan is a dark horse because, like, I think they have really good things to say about Logan's dish today too, as well.
Mhm.
And I think he's starting to get his rhythm. And I wouldn't count him out yet, but I'm strongly leaning towards Paulette. And then with the preview of next week, I think we're gonna see a struggle with Aiden, which is scaring me a little bit because they have to go spearfish. They only have three basket ingredients, and now the fourth one is the fish that they catch. And if they don't catch a fish, they get some lesser ingredient that nobody wants. And we
Mm,
saw Aiden struggling to try to catch this fish. And so I'm like, ooh, is he gonna have time to catch this fish and then make the food, or is he gonna have to settle for whatever lesser ingredient they go give him? Or I don't know. I don't know. I'm
yeah.
mm,
It's an interesting twist, though. Like, I think the twists are what keep me interested a little bit in the show because cooking shows don't do it for me. But just
mm-hmm,
like those sort of, like, even them having to find their baskets with the compass, like, those sort of things are hooking me in, pun intended.
mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm excited to see how it turns out next week. But I think Aiden's going to pull out whatever he has to do, even if he does get a lesser ingredient. I'm not too worried about him.
Understood. I definitely understand that. But let's move on because we have another show to talk about. America's Got Talent is here, season 21. We are week two of that. So
Mhm.
let's go through our highlights. David, who are your highlights of the week?
Okay, so I'll stick with my top five. But first of all, I'll say I think America's Got Talent. We're only 2 episodes in, but so far, this is one of the shows that I'm feeling the most excited to talk about on this
Okay.
on Reality Roundup each week. So just because there's like so much diversity in the talent here, so I'm enjoying it. But let me start with my number five. So for me, it was Gino Plager, 21-year-old from Arizona. He had a big story. He was kind of like featured throughout the episode. He was a magician, and he was telling basically his life story with a deck of cards right in front of the judges. I thought it was really clever.
Brilliant.
You could tell that he had a lot of inspiration from, I can't remember the magician that won the other season. But it was very impressive. Like I don't know how he did it. My thing is that it was like small scale impressive
Mm-hmm.
because it
Mm-hmm.
was so like close and intimate. I want to see him be able to take the same thing and present it on a big scale so the audience can appreciate it without having to see a big screen. But
Mm-hmm.
overall, I thought he was very likable. He has some charisma, so yeah, I like this guy.
Yeah, he was definitely my number five as well. I thought he had a great story. I did agree with Howie that we saw the guy who did it. I think it was Michael something. I don't remember his name either. But that's how he presented himself, and that was how his audition went as well. So same concept, same thing. And so I would love to see what he does. That's originally him. I love that he, took that person became his idol, and he intern under him and got to build up his chops on it. That's all great. Now we need to see who Gino is. What is Gino's tricks? What can Gino do? And agree, larger scale would be amazing. But I thought he was really good. I just felt I was like, oh, brilliant, brilliant. I think he's a great magician, but I want to see him branch out and do something else.
Mhm. Yeah, my number four though was Laura D. She's from Sydney, Australia. She
Mm-hmm.
sang "Oscar-Winning Tears" by Ray, which I love that song. I love Ray. But yeah, I thought she had a very good voice. She has a good voice, but you can tell she has some affectations. Like she's imitating some of her like favorite like modern singers. So she's like another person that I think has so much potential, but I want to hear her sing her own way without imitating somebody else. And I definitely thought it like picked up near the end. Um, yeah, I don't know that she was golden buzzer worthy though. Like I liked her, but the whole like battle, like how he was gonna press the golden buzzer, but Sophia like saw that and beat him to it. She didn't need two people going for the golden buzzer. Personally, she was good, but not all that.
I would have hit my golden buzzer for her. She was one of my
Really?
favorites. I would have.
Okay.
Her voice is amazing, and I don't think she was. I don't feel like, to me, I didn't feel like she was imitating people. I feel like she has so many different influences that it. She just cultivated different influences and made it into her voice. I think that's her. I think that's her voice, and I think in the style of the song she chose, that was amazing for that style because not a lot of people can do that. Not a lot of people can sing that fast. Some people have hard time and get tripped up. It was so clean and it was so pretty. Like I thought she was so good. I would have hit my golden buzzer for her. I love a good, like if you can sing, but like in this group, like the last, if she was in last group, she probably wouldn't have got a golden buzzer for me. But this group, I would have gave it to her because I think she was one of the better people that we saw in this episode. She was, I mean, she had it all. She sounded good. She looked amazing. She picked a really fun and interesting and hard song to sing. I think she had the total package in this, and I was like very impressed with her. I was like, how old is this girl? Because she looked like she could be like 15, 16 years old, but she said she's working in her family's real estate business. I'm like, she must be like 20 something years old, but she sounds amazing. I was so impressed with her. I really enjoyed her. I was like, yes. Yeah, because at first I was like, she was so nervous, and I was like, oh no, is she gonna come out here and be da, da. The minute she opened her mouth and she gave us that first little with the little vibrato at the end, I was like, oh, okay, wait a minute, and then she started doing her little. I was hooked. She got me hooked. I liked her a lot. I really enjoyed her. She actually was like my number two.
Okay. Yeah. Are you familiar with the song?
No, I've never heard that song in my
Okay.
life, but I
See,
loved
that
it.
might be the reason that we are a little bit different on it, just because I really like the original. So it's kind of hard to compete with that. You know, I love Ray. I've talked about how I like
Hmm.
Ray on this podcast. So yeah, she was still really good.
Yeah.
Um, who was your number four?
My number four was Caesar, the vaudeville act at the end. Last one. He had me cracking up. Because at first I was like, what is happening here? What is he doing? But then when I realized what he was doing, I was like, oh, okay. And it just got funnier and funnier and funnier as he went along. And sometimes, like, I think the vaudeville act is a little cheesy to me. And I don't really, I'm like, yeah, it's funny. But I liked what he did. And I love when the microphone was in the pants and he was singing with the rose. And then he was like, oh. And then it was just hilarious to me. I thought he was so funny. I could see him having a residency somewhere in Vegas and just, or a show in some club in Vegas and just people are just like, he's hilarious. I want to see what he could do more of. Like what else is in this act? What else can he do? But that was funny. I think that was a really good audition for him, and I want to see what else he does.
Mhm. Well, this is kind of funny because we have our fours and twos swapped. He was number two for
Ah.
me. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. Like at first, when he started singing, I was like, okay, he's singing my way. He's singing it well.
Hmm.
But have I seen this like a million
Yeah.
times? Yeah. Oh, wait, no, I have not seen that. I see what
Oh.
you're doing. Like it was just kind of
Hmm.
an epiphany moment, and I thought it was so clever and so funny and so well, like honestly, like well choreographed. Like we have to talk about
Hmm.
that because he had to
Yes.
plan out meticulously every little thing that he did because he actually could mess up and it could throw off his whole shtick, the whole plan. So I really enjoyed him. I am curious to see how he's going to do in future rounds because I could see this losing its appeal after singing it a couple times. So I hope he like continues to do like the mistakes, but just finds a different, like a completely different angle for it each time.
Mm-hmm.
That would be hilarious. But right now, I'm sat and I'm very intrigued by this guy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I'll move on to my number 3 of the night. So it was Sienna and Holland. They were the aerialist acrobatics from Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were very good. So I will say, like at first, they accidentally kind of swung into Mel's ex,
Mm-hmm.
and then we saw her like dress rip, and I was like, oh no, this is a disaster already. But I was really impressed with their ability to
Mm-hmm.
recover, and they were doing some like incredibly impressive and scary things. Like it just kind of like, I think you need to keep your audience at ease, and it kind of made me feel uneasy at first, and they really had to earn my comfort back. But once they did, like I was very impressed with them. Like, do I think they were as good as a similar act that we saw on Star Search this year? Not quite. I don't think they have the storytelling that we saw from that act who did really well on Star Search. But I think that they are very impressive at what they do. And I would love to see them again where they're not starting off with a mistake, because I think that would be a game changer and it would be even more impressive. But yeah, I like them and I'm rooting for them.
I had a tie for my number 3, and they were
Okay.
one of them. Sienna and Holland were my number.
So you
Was
cheated. You have six. You have
I
six
do.
acts in
I
your
do.
top. That's
But they
okay.
were my top. They were definitely my tie 3 because for the very same reasons you just said. Like the mistake at the beginning, I was like, "Oh God, oh no," it made me very nervous and uneasy. But the way they recovered was beautiful. It was masterful. Now, Mel B, and Sophia Vergara both kept saying it was flawless. It was perfection. I was like, no, it was not flawless. It had flaws. It was imperfect. But I think that made it even better because it showed that yes, you can make a mistake, but it's how you recover from that mistake. And she just there was because she said he was like, "Oh, what do we do? Is stop your dress is ripped." She's like, "Keep going, just keep going," and they kept going, and it like they took it takes trust to do what they do, because man, the positions he had her, she was literally hanging on by his neck. You have to have strength and trust with that person that you're doing that with. And so I love seeing it. It was amazing. I thought they were so good. So I enjoyed them as well. They were definitely my I could not have them in my top 5. But they were definitely tied with me with Nija and Zaya, the brothers. They're
Okay. Yep.
saying their song Heartbeat. And here's the thing. I like them. The song, and I don't know what movie. The song is getting really with me. I was like, girl. He literally gave you the flower in the hair, and he was singing about the flower in the hair. Like, what are you? Okay, whatever. I thought they have such good voices, sweet voices. It can grow though. It can definitely improve. They're young. They're 15 and 16 years old, and so I would love to see them come back even stronger, even better prepared, even more, and their harmonies are there. Everything is the foundation of them are there. They have good voices. Their harmonies are good. They're cute little boys. Um, I want to see them come back with a stronger song that could grab the audience. Maybe a cover for that people know, so they can get involved with it. Doing an original song for an audition is always a risk, but I think it was a risk that it paid off for them. It, absolutely, because they are through. But I need them to come back and give the audience something that they can grab onto and see who they are as performers. And but I thought they had really great talent, and I think Simon said it best: talent is talent. You might not understand or resonate with the song, but you can definitely see talent when you see it. And they were very good. I enjoyed them a lot. I was like, oh yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. That's right. They were not in my top 5. And I agree. They have really, really strong harmonies, great blending going on. For me, it's just hard for me to connect with a lot of like younger singers. Like I feel
Hmm.
like in a few years I would probably really like them, but I think I just need a little bit more maturity in their voices. But they're very talented. They're just not necessarily my personal preference. Um, but yeah, I respect anybody for liking them. Did they get?
Hmm.
They weren't golden buzzer.
No, they weren't golden buzzer, but they did get the yes.
I'm trying to remember who all got golden buzzers.
My number
Um,
one,
my number
and
one.
I think we got the same number one, but
Yeah, I think we do
my,
too.
and then look, and my number two,
Okay.
my number one and
Yes,
my
that's
number two
right.
got golden buzzer. That's who got it.
That's right. Well, let's go ahead and get into our number one then. So it was Yoo Ho Jin from
Hmm.
South Korea. So he was on season 17 and he was returning. Um, and Simon said, I want something more. I want an ostrich. I'm like, okay, like
Bigger.
whatever. Yeah, something bigger. And we definitely like I just from what I saw of the clips, this was definitely bigger. This was a way
Yeah.
to go. He had a whole entourage out there with him. And this is another one. Like, I think that I'm just really impressed with people who can take an act and add
Hmm.
choreography because it was seamless with this group. Like, all the different colors, all the different timing. You can't tell me that they practice any less than 200 hours. Like,
Well, they
they must have spent an insane amount of time practicing this as a group because it was just kind of flawless. Yeah, and it was unique too. It wasn't something that you see, like especially with magic, and even like card magic. It's hard to
hmm
make card magic big, and he somehow managed to take card magic and make it big. So yeah, Terry was going for that golden buzzer, but Howie beat him. It's like very competitive with the golden buzzer. I'm seeing.
Yeah, it is. I think I love when somebody takes something that is never usually a group effort and turns it into a group effort. Like this was his show. He's a magician. That was his thing. That was his thing. But he brought a troupe out with him, and then the troupe not only uh, raise their talent so to make him look good, but they all just look so flawless together. And it was at some points I'm like, which one is like he blended and then he popped out and it was like, oh, there he is. Like it was so good. And the like you said, the choreography, you could not tell me they hadn't practiced. Like I think they eat, sleep, and breathe together to get this choreography together in that flawless amount of what they did. And even the transitions between each card thing, and then went from the cards to the wand, and then the wand to the ostrich feather, and then the ostrich feather back around to the wand, and then smoke. And he took what Simon said so literally, and he was like, "You want bigger? I'll give you bigger." And when he said in his intro packet, it made me rethink my magic and how I do it and how I perform it. And it made me rethink and envision a bigger scale. And he did that. I'm so excited about this group. I want to see what other things, because it's going to go bigger and bigger. What other bigger things is he going to be able to do? I think if he gets to the final again, we might get that ostrich. Wouldn't be surprised if we get that ostrich coming in the finals. But yeah, he was my favorite. That was my favorite. I've never seen a magic act like that. That you asked me earlier who I was clapping for. That's who I was clapping for
Okay,
because
okay, that makes sense.
I I've never seen magic done so, and it's he kept what they loved about him in the first place and how elegant and flowy his magic is, and he kept that element but made it bigger, and then he added this group element, and it was just like, oh, it's exciting. I have so many things to look at, so many things to see. Ugh, I, I loved it. I loved it. But
Yeah, I think he's the only one for me that like really matched up with the two acts that I really liked from the first episode with the dancing robots and the choir singing.
mm,
So yeah, right now those are my top three.
same. I love the robots, the choir, and then him. Like
Mhm.
I still say the choir should got to go on the buzzer, but whatever.
Mhm. I I do think we should talk about my least favorite act of the night, though, just because it was my least favorite act because it is so not for me, but not because it wasn't impressive. And I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
there's an audience for it. Uh,
Just
but
ain't
it was
me.
this couple, not me either. It was Brad and Tracy. So Brad is a maniac, and I don't know, Tracy might even be more of a maniac
She might be
for
sadistic,
signing up.
honey.
Maybe, but yeah, they did so many like uncomfortable things. So they nailed a board to Brad's face. Then he laid on glass, and she literally stepped on him, like even stepped on his head a little bit, and he was bleeding from this part. um, and then what else did they do? Oh, he
The
swallowed a
swords,
sword, and
7
then he
of them.
swallowed like 7 of them. And I'm like, how does this not cut one's insides?
Well,
Yeah, Mel, I was totally her in this moment because very early on, she hits the X and just turns around. And I'm like watching like this. Like it hurt. And then the worst part for me, and I've thought about this so much since I first watched this episode, he sticks his hook up his nose, and then we find out there must be a hole in the top of his mouth because the hook comes out of his mouth. And I'm like, okay, that's bad. And then he makes it worse because he connects the hook to this like weight, like an anchor,
hmm
and then starts swinging the anchor by his head. And the whole time I'm thinking, what if, worst case scenario, this little section of bone here with teeth just decided, oh, this is too much for me. And it just gives way and like the bones just pop out and maybe it rips through his face. I couldn't stop thinking about that worst case scenario. And it's made me so uncomfortable ever since. Oh my gosh. But
I
impressive.
can, I didn't watch much of that. The second mm-mm. I was male B2, and I turned around and I watched the whole thing like this. And I heard him talk about 7 swords, and I was like, absolutely not. No, I couldn't watch it. I
So
didn't
you didn't
watch
see
it.
the swinging?
I saw. I said, oh God, no. It was the quickest, like, because when the audience reacted, made me want to see what it was about, and I was like, what? Oh no.
Yeah.
No,
I even
no,
warned you
yes.
about this one before you watched it.
You
I was
did, and
like,
it
just
still
wait.
was it was still horrifying. It was still very horrifying, and I no, absolutely, positively not. Like,
And how's he
mm-mm-mm-mm.
gonna up it? Like, please don't try to up this. Please don't try to raise the stakes because you will die.
I can't. But you know what we're going to raise? We're going to talk about some reality news. So Miss Tyra Banks is up in arms, baby. She is mad, 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 and she is mad at Netflix because she has filed a lawsuit, a defamation lawsuit with Netflix for the edit she received on Reality Check inside America's Next Top Model. The suit alleges that producers cherry picked just 16 minutes of her 3-hour interview to construct a false narrative. Um, and you know what I say? I say, oh, Tyra, they did what? They took 16 minutes of a 3-hour process and chopped it up and screwed it up to make you look like the bad guy. Sounds familiar because you ran a show for so many seasons and you chopped up these girls and took very little time of what 24 hours a day that they were with you or doing stuff, and you took very small pieces of it and you sent a story out. You are a producer. You knew what you were signing up for with Netflix and with when you give other people a right to edit your story. If you wanted your story told, you should have produced it and you should have had the editors and you should have been in charge of it to share your story. But you wanted money from Netflix and you let them do it. So guess what? Oop. Like, I don't understand how somebody who was a producer wants to turn around and say, "Oh my God, I can't believe you edited this to make me look like this." Um, ain't that what production do? Ain't that what they do on TV all the time? You've been on reality TV. Ain't that what y'all did? And you mad when
Not brand
somebody do it
new.
to you? Right. You you mad. Oh, it's okay when you do it, but you mad when they do it. That's not how this works, baby.
It's
I don't have that much sympathy for Tyra Banks in this moment, honestly.
fair. I actually never ended up watching this, but I'd seen like clips online, and to be honest, like most of the damning stuff was not stuff she was saying anyways. It was stuff other people were saying about her. And look,
Mhm.
you can't do anything suing them about what they use from other people's stuff. So
Absolutely. I watched the whole thing, and it really wasn't her stuff that was damning. Now, some of the stuff she said was a little problematic, but it wasn't the stuff she said. It was what everybody said about her, and then they backed it up with proof of what she was doing. So I think this is a baseless lawsuit, to be honest.
yeah,
But
yeah.
whatever.
Classify that in the same category as the Amazing Race people, like
Right.
lawsuits that are going nowhere.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But speaking of Amazing Race, that would usually go under our social strategy game. So let's talk about it. So we are going to go to the castle or the house because it looks like a house. It don't even look like a castle. I was like, does this look like a castle to me? And not really. But let's
They
go
don't
to
have
the
castles in New Zealand.
right. Well, we're gonna go to Traitors New Zealand. Now, if you want to catch my full thoughts about Traitors New Zealand, go check out the recap. Um, it'll be up there or there right about now. But go check that out. And David, what do you think about Traitors New Zealand?
Yeah, so egg on my face. I thought I cracked the code. I was like, yep, I know who's leaving. It's Elliot leaving. I can tell based on how they presented the preview at this point. But no, it was Ryan going. So I was surprised Harrison switched his vote. So a few people like we had some people like switch from Harris or from Ryan to Elliot and from Elliot to Ryan. But here, let me start off by saying this. I am not completely connecting with the season yet. I don't know about you, but
Nope.
for me, it almost feels uh like a group of like somebody in a local town was like, let me recruit a few people from my town, like a small group of people. Do I care if they're TV personalities? No. Let me just get people who are interested. Because this group of people, like, I'm not getting a lot of personalities. If you told me like several of their names right now, I'd be like, wait, who is that? Like, I'm just
Right.
not connecting with personalities. In fact, the bigger personalities seem to be getting banished or murdered. And I'm like, you all are running out of people for me to like know who they are and connect
Right.
with. So I'm getting nervous for this show. Uh, this so far, I know we're only 4 episodes in, but that's almost halfway done with the season. There's only 10
Mm-hmm.
episodes total. But so far, this is my least favorite English speaking version of the Traitors that I've seen from the 6 different franchises I've watched. Um, but yeah, I do think it was interesting because Elliot, like he had this heat on him, but the way he handled himself, I guess people started to doubt he was a traitor, and including his biggest op, Dave, was like, "Well, now I don't think Elliot's a traitor," which I'm like, good, because I like Elliot. I want to see him around for a while, and
Well,
we saw how much. Yeah, we saw how well that worked out.
well, Julie.
One person I do want to give credit for because not only do I think that they are carrying the strategy element of the show so far, but I do think they are one of the bigger personalities is Sam. I
Mm,
really like Sam. She's somebody I could see winning because she has a good read on the game. Like she seems to pick up on things. She was probably the strongest person um, going against Brad. at least the strongest person who didn't have inside information, Keanu.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But so she has that going for her. Plus, I think she has this level of protection in the conclave from Keanu, as long as he's a traitor, at least. So I have my eye on her. I think she's somebody who could do really well. And I think she's kind of a linchpin on my enjoyment of the season so far. So I'm rooting for her. On the opposite side, I'm not connecting with these traitors. I don't think they're playing super well. Like Keanu keeps making wild decisions. Brad, he's like out like in some sort of crazy hemisphere with the way he's playing and how do you think you're going to be like plotting so hard against the other traitor to each other and that they're not going to talk?
Right.
So he's kind of baffling. And Jill is somebody that I was very excited for when she was first recruited. I was like, I like how she's really downplaying her knowledge of the show, but she's like stealthy, like cutthroat. But I'm not getting the cutthroat. And she's just becoming this kind of like, oh, I don't know anything about it. Like she's playing it up too much. She doesn't have opinions. So Jill's kind of flopping for me. Yes. Overall, I'm not super thrilled with this group. I will say Michael coming back, like that kind of shocked me. He was the ghoul that was like finding people in the hide and seek challenge.
You're found.
You're found.
You're
Yeah,
found.
that should have been our intro.
You're found.
You're found. Yeah, that was kind of a surprise for me until she started to be like, oh, who is this? Then I'm like, oh yeah, it's probably Michael. But up until that point, I had no idea. But Michael's not bringing anything for me either. Like he's just faded since he's come back. Like, is it the casting or is it the edit or is it a combination? Because they are just making so many people invisible.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I feel like but I also feel like Michael is trying. I think people, because at first you like, is he coming back as a traitor? Is he coming back as a faithful? Well, I try to figure out. And I think it came to a conclusion that a lot of people were like, oh, he's coming back as a faithful. So he really didn't have to do much to, try to hide because nobody thought he was a traitor. And all he got to do is observe now. So he's just sitting back in the cut observing. I I kind of feel like if he sit back far enough where people forget about him until it gets too late or it's so far in the game, and he just keeps taking in the information that he's gathering, watching these people, it might be a really decent strategy for him. But yeah, right now he's wallpaper because we don't see him. We don't know we haven't heard anything, and nobody's talking to him. Like they don't even have him in conversations. We don't even see him in conversations with people. So I don't know anything about him.
Yeah. There's not much to know, I don't think. But we did see Kate get murdered, which I was kind of disappointed because she seemed likable, but then she didn't put up much of a fight at the round table. But the biggest disappointment was Elliot getting murdered. And that's the double-edged sword of like finally being able to clear your name and people are starting to think that you're faithful is like, what value are you to the traitors anymore? Mm-hmm. So I was really bummed to see Elliot because he was really likable. He was definitely one of my favorite people on the cast, probably him right behind Sam. But what's interesting to me is this is when Keanu starts going on his like Brad's out like spree, and he starts talking to a lot of people, spreading his theory about there's too many teachers. One of them has to like by the odds. One of them has to be, which is a good angle to go. But Maria, I don't know her, but I do know that Maria was sus. She's like, well, whoever finds the teacher is probably doing it off of inside information. Mm-hmm. So I hope she doesn't forget that. I really would love to see Maria step it up because this is the only thing that stood out for me with her so far. I would like to see her kind of be like, not only did we have traitor on traitor, we'll go ahead and jump into that. So we did see at the round table, Brad was going for Jill. One of my favorite moments was just seeing them at the round table. right next to each other, and you see Jill have Brad on her card and Brad have Jill on her card right by each other, both knowing each other are traitors. I love that. But not only was that traitor on traitor, which I think people are picking up on, but the fact that Brad was like, well, I'm suspicious of Jill and I'm suspicious of Keanu.
Baby, the breadcrumbs. But I was like, hello?
Yep. He's like, I'm suspicious of them. I'm also suspicious of the next person that we're going to recruit, which Harrison, I think it's going to be you. Like,
It's
he's
so
just
much.
spilling the tea.
It's so much.
Yeah, Brad's another one. Like, he did get banished, and it made sense. He was playing kind of messy, but at least he was interesting. So I wanted him to stick around a little bit longer, just because it would have been fun to see them go back to the conclave right after Brad called them both out.
Right. And they just look at each other like,
yeah.
So what we doing now? Okay.
Yeah. There's been moments like
We've seen them.
Yeah, you need to watch the Traitors Ireland because we get moments like that with the Traitors too. It gets really messy in the conclave. But yeah, I thought it was an interesting roundtable, but I'm just really not sold on this season yet. I hope they prove me wrong, but so far this like feels like slow, easy mode. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just not resonating with me so much, and I love the Traitors, but hopefully it picks up steam soon.
So all of that is very true. One thing you failed to mention, and what disappointed me the most about these 2 episodes, why did we get rid of Janiyah? What was the purpose of getting rid of Janiyah? I don't understand why we got rid of the eye candy of the season.
I heard this.
I was very upset about this. I said it before and I'll say it again. What are we doing if we can't even look at someone pretty throughout the season? Like, keep him like, he ain't do nothing to nobody. Even if you think he the faithful of all faithfuls, he's still big and strong and good looking, and he could have been good for the challenges and building money up for the pot. Don't you want money in your pot, traders? Don't you want to take the money at the end? You need somebody like a Janiyah, strong man, just to go out there and run and do all the stuff I don't want to do, and he go out there and get it. And should have kept him halfway through this season. Like, this season already is boring. You can't even keep the good-looking people of the season. Ugh.
There's not many.
Ugh.
No offense to them. No offense
to these people, but Janiyah? Please. I was upset with that. That upset me. That upset me so very much. But but yeah.
It was all Keanu.
It was all Keanu. So I'm side-eyeing Keanu at this point. I'm like, because he tells me I can step in his place. Where? But okay, that's fine. But
yeah, I don't like any of these murder choices so far, because you've gotten rid of 3 people that I do think were not just sitting there idly being boring.
Right. Absolutely. But whatever. Y'all can do what you want to do. It's your game. If you just want not attractive people around, say that. But whatever. Let's get into some more news.
Okay, some news that I'm very happy about. The Circle, I've been waiting for it to come back. I know it was canceled, but it has officially been ordered. It's moving from Netflix to Hulu. They're rebooting it. So the show is going to play out in real time this time. Which should be very interesting. Maybe it's going to be a competitor for Big Brother. Who knows? But it's going to introduce an audience vote aspect, which I think can work on this show. And the new seasons are expected to feature everyday normal people, plus some famous people, some celebrities. Like, we don't know how famous. Maybe Spice Girls famous, who knows? But I'm interested. Like, I hope the dynamic isn't kind of like the lopsided angle we got with the Traitors season 1, where the reality stars were the stars of the show. But I'm very excited to have the circle back. I've been missing it.
Absolutely. The Circle is the one show I was like, if I could do any show, I would do The Circle. Just have me in an apartment just talking to a computer. I do that every day. So let me put me in there, coach. Like tap me in. I want that to happen. I'm excited. And work. I love that. I'm so excited. I can't wait to watch it. And the live aspect that we get to vote on stuff as viewers. I love that. And I hope it's not voting out players. I hope it's voting for like twists and things that we go into the game. I don't
Yeah,
want us to have to vote out players because that's not our job. That should be up to the players in the game. But I would love if they
absolutely.
would give us just powers, like throw in a twist right here or there, every now and again. But we'll see how they do. And if it's a good season, maybe I'll apply and I get on in another season, because I love the circle. I would absolutely do the circle. But
Good. Do it.
during a recent interview, though, former First Lady Michelle Obama talked about how much of a Traitors fan that she is and has pictured herself playing. And she would want to play as a faithful because she would enjoy trying to uncover the deception and the identity of a traitor. So Peacock, that's the call. Like, that's the call. Could you imagine former First Lady Michelle Obama in the Traitors Castle playing traitor? First of all, who voting out Michelle Obama? Not me. I'm not voting out Michelle
Who's
Obama.
murdering her?
Who is murdering Michelle Obama? Not me. If I was a traitor, I'm like, I guess I'm finna lose to Michelle Obama because what? Not. No, I'm gonna make sure she stay and hope and think I'm a faithful too, even if I'm the traitor. I'm her traitor angel because I'm not voting out Michelle Obama and I'm not murdering Michelle Obama. So, but I would love to see it. So Peacock, make the call, make it happen, get her in Switzerland and get her in that castle. Like, period.
Scotland, even.
Or Scotland. What did I say? Switzerland. Scotland, Switzerland, Newport News. I don't care what castle is. Get her in there. Absolutely get her in there. That would be the biggest get you can get on traders so far that we have had so far. From a first lady, that's and she's smart too.
Yep. I can picture it now. We have Jonathan Young from Survivor in the Conclave, and he's talking to Cody Nicholson from Big Brother in the
Stop
Conclave.
it.
They're like,
Oh, she gone.
hey, let's murder a former First Lady Michelle Obama. Knock 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 knock. Secret Service, we're coming in. Take them out.
Oh my god.
No
That would
murdering
be
her.
no murdering her at all. Oh my god. I think that was the great like if she would ever do it. I wonder if she would ever do it. Like if they actually put in the work to make it happen, would she ever do it?
I don't see it. I would love it. I think it was more like her talking about a fun hypothetical, but
Yeah.
I don't think they could
I
get
don't
her.
think logistically they would be able to do it because
Prove me
even
wrong.
though she but please prove us wrong, Pre Peacock. Show us what you can do. But I would love to see it.
Hmm. But I did mention Big Brother. Let's talk about some Big Brother news. The Sun has reported recently that Big Brother 28 will feature returning house guests. Much to the expectation of a lot of fans, we all
We
figured
all
it
figured
would.
that out.
Yeah, especially because Rachel kind of made the season last year. But it's also been teased that the season will disrupt the entire franchise
Ooh.
in a good way. They did have to specify in a good way, but who knows? That's up for us to decide, right?
Right. Absolutely. I'm excited to see what they can do. We they've been teasing returning players for a very long time
Yeah.
now, so we kind of all, if you follow Big Brother, if you follow reality sites and things like that, you probably was like, okay, it's probably returning players who we don't know, and what their role is in the game we don't know, but we got about
I
less than
wouldn't
a month to
and
figure it
half
out.
season. Mhm.
What'd you say?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a half and half season, like half returnees, half new people. We've never seen that for US. We've seen it
Hmm.
in Big Brother Canada, and it was one of the best seasons. So I think it'd be fun. Like bring back a lot of people. Don't bring back so few that they don't have a
Right.
shot because they're being targeted just for being this small minority.
I would love a half and half season. I think that would be so goated and like fun to see. So let's do that, big brother, because we've already had one returning house guest come in at a time. We've had four come in at a time. Let's make it half. If you're doing 18 people in the house, do the math. You know how to do it. Let's just do it. So I would love to see it. Ah, well, it's that time. We got to get our. It's time to talk a little drag, y'all. Y'all.
And there's my cat, Lily.
That's my fan.
Yes, straight from Japan.
Period.
Yep. So we are talking Drag Race All Stars season 11, and we are off to the final bracket. It is the purple bracket. So we get to see a lot of my faves, a group that I really like. In fact, not only is it a group I like, but I've noticed the people that maybe I was like slightly like meh on, I'm liking them even more this season. So far, so good. We did find out that the challenge for this week would be that they have to take high school athletic gear and make it into a design look. So we love a good design challenge. We didn't get one for the last bracket. So I'm excited that it's back. But this group was not thrilled. They weren't thrilled. And then the more people were talking, like later in the episode, and they were sharing their own stories from their original seasons or previous seasons about design challenges. First of all, we had Sam like, oh yeah, I won a design challenge in my season. I'm like, okay. And then you had Kennedy like, yeah, my first design challenge, I was in the bottom two. Hershey's like, yeah, I went home on a design challenge. Joey's like, yeah, I lost to Lala Ree in that bag look in a design challenge. Who else do we have? Sugar's like, yeah, I was in the bottom two for a design challenge. Who am I forgetting? Oh, Joe. Wait, that's everybody. Oh,
Yeah, he said
no,
everybody.
Jasmine.
No, Jasmine Kennedy.
Jasmine
Yeah.
also was in the bottom two on a design challenge. So I'm like,
I'm
okay,
still
so
seeing a theme here.
5 of the 6 people were in the bottom two at some point, and some of them going home because of design looks they made. So I'm like, oh, why did we save this for this group? Why couldn't we have done it in the pink group instead?
Right.
Yeah, but we had some pretty interesting interactions. So it seemed like there's alliances being made. We saw Jasmine and Kennedy. So basically, Jasmine, Kennedy, Davenport. Like we got that alliance. They have the Kennedy in common, but they know each other from the Vegas show. They do that together, so they're connecting. Although they're very on different terms on how they see playing the game. Because Kennedy
Mm-hmm.
is saying to Jasmine like, winning is great, like all of that, but friendship comes over $200,000. Like friendship matters more. And you see Jasmine in the confessional, like, ooh, I can
Who's
be
she talking
friends
about?
with you after. Yeah. So I hope we see that killer instinct from Kennedy, but I'm a little bit nervous after that. But Jasmine, no worries, she's going to be cutthroat, and I think that was a breadcrumb because I bet we're going to get her being kind of strategic with some points here.
Mm-hmm.
Sam is working the room more than anybody. I'm really liking Sam so far this season. I didn't mind Sam in her original season, but she was with people like Anya and Jules, who I just like more. So I am enjoying Sam. I think she's really fun, big personality. She's working on allies. She's plotting against Kennedy, which I
Mm-hmm.
don't like because Kennedy's probably my favorite in this group, but I
Mm-hmm.
totally get because
Mm-hmm.
Kennedy's made it to the finale or close to the finale all 3 of her seasons that she's done. She was
Wow.
second place. She was cut right before the finale her first season, and she made it to the finale in Canada versus the World season 2. So she is a big threat. A big threat.
Yeah.
One person that I've noticed is really stepping up personality factor is Joey J, our first gay
Mm,
contestant.
of course.
We see, yes, we see Joey a few different times talking to Rue, like either in the workroom or on stage, and Rue is eating out of the palm of Joey's hand, just cracking up. But there was a, there was a line. So Joey, you didn't see Joey's first season, but Joey's
No.
kind of known for not wearing wigs
Hmm.
often. Like would wear not wear a wig more often than would wear a wig, and the judges didn't love that in the first season. But Joey was talking to Rue and was like, "What changed with that?" And Joey was like, "Well, I was having a conversation with some other girls from the show, and they were all comparing like messages they get from like chasers that are like, 'Ooh, you're pretty,' and like slide into their DMs." And Joey's like, "I'm not getting those messages because I'm not wearing a wig." So she's like, I need to get those messages too. Let me put on a wig." So she's kind of rebranded herself, and she's a wig queen again now, which I'm happy with. She looks great in a wig, but Rue was losing it as she was telling that story. Um, but yeah, just really good banter and dynamics throughout the episode. We did see everybody struggling, like preparing, and they even had a song about the struggle bus, which I thought was great. Hershey and Kennedy were leading the struggle bus song. We might have to pull that and make it a clip on here just in case we're going through a struggle bus. But overall,
Literally
um,
right now while I'm choking, going through a struggle.
yes, the struggle is real. Overall, good dynamics. It's making me very interested in this group. But I do want to talk about my rankings for the design challenge. I know you saw the looks as well. So
I have a
how about
ranking.
you just piggyback? Yeah. Oh, you have a ranking too?
I will piggyback off of yours because I definitely
Okay.
have
Yes.
thoughts in
Piggyback off of
mind.
mine. Yeah. So I'm gonna start. Well, first of all, I'll say I had a clear number one, a
Same.
clear number six,
Mm.
and then the four in the middle were kind of like it could have gone any way for me, and it wouldn't bother me too much. But let me start with my bottom. So I just said she's probably my favorite in this group, but I will call a spade a spade. It is Kennedy Davenport. Man, I was not feeling this. I did not like the skirt, especially. Like
Mm.
I thought she had something cohesive, like with the blue and the yellow going on. Like those colors worked well enough for me. But then you get into this like gray skirt that looked kind of bunched up. And I just was not feel like I felt like that made it really clash. So I was kind of shocked when the judges were like, "Oh, it's so wrong that it works." I'm like, "What? Nah."
Mm-mm.
So yeah, for me, the color balance like was not there. It wasn't cohesive. So didn't yeah. It was number six for me.
It was number six for me. I didn't like the skirt. I didn't like the fit of the skirt. It just looked weird and all that gray. It was. I wasn't a fan of it. I don't know. I don't know if I like the length of it. I didn't like the colors. Like the colors was not so wrong. They were right. If they were wrong, they was just wrong. Period. And it was just wrong for me. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I was like, eh. It looked boring, but and plain and simple and not exciting. And then it was just not fitting right, and it didn't look good. All of the above.
Right, I agree. My number five, and I think I'm a little bit higher on this than Lana is, but it was Jasmine Kennedy. So for me, like this was like a lot of body, not a lot of material. It kind of reminded me of that controversial win that Georges had for her very first design challenge in
Mm,
her original season, which Kennedy was there. She saw it too. I think Kennedy was actually pretty critical of Georges in that episode. So it's kind of funny that she comes out in a similar kind of look with not much going on there. What I will say is that while it's pretty minimal, I did like the color balance. I like almost like an ombre effect that she gave it with the purple straps going all the way down. So I thought that was a way to add cohesion to it. But for me, it was a little simple. Um, it was still good for me. Like I'm not mad if she's in the top two,
hmm.
but yeah, wouldn't be in my top two.
No, she was definitely fine because I didn't like a skirt. I didn't like the skirt. I thought it was. I like the colors that she chose, but I didn't like the outfit itself. Like I didn't like the skirt. It just looked. It fell flat to me. Wasn't a fan of it, and everything else just didn't do much to move me. Like my needle was not moving with that outfit. I was just like, yeah, okay, bye, girl. So,
Yep. Okay, it gets even tighter here between the other ones I have remaining. For me, number 4 was Hershey. I thought it was a cute look. It was on the simple edge. The wig was a highlight for me. I love that wig. Like
hmm
it was full. It was a focal point. Um, it felt to me like something somebody would wear in a video. Like it had a really strong point of view. It just felt like a prototype for me. And that's kind of the case with a lot of these ones bunched in the middle. Like it's a good first draft. I want to see like the complete version that a actual designer would do, like with all the material that they need. But it was a great start for me. A huge improvement from what she made with the pants that she reused in her original design challenge look.
hmm Agreed. Um, do I make it number
You're,
4 though?
you were a little higher, I think,
Yeah,
on
I
this.
did like it. I like it. It wasn't horrible for me. So I wouldn't put it at number 4. I will put the neon number. I don't know who that is.
Sugar.
Sugar cane. Yeah. I think that number was number 3 for me. It was cute. It was fine. It just was fine and simple and cute, but nothing else. That I think Hershey will be the next one for me because I feel like yeah that was swap it out because I think I found hers a little bit more exciting, a little bit
Hmm.
more edgier, a little bit like okay more on brand with the theme of the sports wear thing.
True.
So yeah, I would put Sugar and then Hershey that
Flip
way.
those. Yeah. I flipped those two. That's a spoiler. Because for me, number 3 was Sugar. Um, yeah. Simple, nice silhouette. I really like the silhouette of it. I like the kind of like chest cutout part. Um, and the colors, like I really thought the neon was a good standout moment there. But once again, this felt like a prototype for me. Like it felt like
Mm,
a first draft. And I know that she had a struggle because the original look she was working on, she cut it too short, so she was
mm,
running out of time and material. So the fact
mm.
that she was able to end up coming up with this kind of last minute, I thought was very impressive. And yeah, so I think she should be very proud, and she was very proud. Clearly, yeah, just kind of rough around the edges, but overall, I still liked it.
Yeah, same.
Hmm. So number 2 for me, who I definitely would have had in the top 2 is Joey J. I thought this was a really good silhouette. I really like the blue.
hmm
It felt like it had a strong point of view, one of the stronger point of views of the group. There were like a few little things about it that I thought could use improvement, like the skirt, like it was hemmed. She said there were no strings hanging or anything, but it still felt like slightly unfinished to me. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I wanted to see like that kind of match up with the top because I like the top quite a bit more. Also, I didn't like that when she was walking, you could kind of see her black panties. Um,
That bothered me
but
too.
other than that, yeah, like it could have used a little bit of elevation, but I thought this was another really strong start.
Yeah. I think more time it would have been better. I just felt like it just was a little unfinished, but it was still good and it was clean and I love the blue. I think it was fine. I just think it could have been better.
Mhm. Yep. But I think there was a very clear number 1 for the night. And it wasn't a surprise because it's the only person who hasn't struggled in the design challenge before, the only person who's won a design challenge before. It was Sam Starr. I love this.
I loved it too.
I think, yeah, she did the best job of keeping the sports angle in the look. Like she kept balls on her, like she made her silhouette, like literally made the silhouette with different balls that she had inflated or deflated. So I
hmm
thought that was a really smart smart thing to do. It was just very ambitious. I know that the judges were kind of like, oh, there's a few things that were not quite finished, but that's because she went big when a lot of other people played it really safe here. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, for me, this was pretty clearly the top. There's no world
Yeah,
where
no
she
question.
shouldn't have been number one.
No world at all. I completely agree. She had the best look. She kept the sports theme, and it was good. It was made well, designed well. I loved it. I think there was no way she was losing that.
hmm Um, so one funny thing, one funny thing, like while they were talking to the contestants, once again it was Joey and Rue. Rue was talking about the look and how she liked it, but there was one thing she didn't like about the look. She didn't like the gold buttons. She didn't think that that went well with everything else. And then she asked Joey, she's like, Joey, what's your favorite thing about your look? The gold buttons. And everybody died laughing. I'm like, Joey, you know exactly what to say to make Rue
Hmm.
laugh. So I
Hmm.
think that's going to work in her favor for sure this season.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But we ended up finding out the top three was Jasmine, Sam, and Kennedy was third. I couldn't believe Kennedy was third. I think it's just because they like Kennedy and they want Kennedy to do well. But luckily, like she was not in the top two. That would have been a little wild. I wouldn't have had Jasmine up there. You wouldn't have either. But overall, I thought the lip sync was pretty good. Like they were pretty evenly matched for me. I will say my eyes were drawn a little bit more to Sam. She seemed to be hitting everything a bit harder than
Hmm.
Jasmine.
Hmm.
Even if, yeah, even with it being close, like even if Jasmine slightly edged Sam out, which I don't think so, I think the fact that Sam's look was so much better, I think that should have secured her win. Luckily, she did get the win anyways. What do you think of the lip sync?
I thought the lipstick was good. I thought it was nice. It was close. I do agree with you. It was very close between the two of them. It was, but I was more into Sam, what Sam was doing, what she was giving. It was just like she was very much at the forefront of the stage the entire time. She had great eye contact with the camera. She was looking at it, felt like she was looking right at me. She knew the words. She had some really good points, musicality, like it was a point of the song said boom, boom, boom. And she said like it was just those little things. She hit things at the right time and on right on beat. Like when she did her death drop, it was right on time at that break, and it was boom, something like. And so I really enjoyed her performance. I thought uh,
Kennedy.
Kennedy did really well as well. But she did things that made me go, why you do that? Like she had this big old coat
Should I
on and
go
she
back
was gonna
there?
reveal it. Why would you go back to the back of the stage to do the reveal and walk and then throw the coat down? Like stand to the front of the stage, let them see what you got underneath this big old coat. And but no, she didn't do that. So it was a few choices that she made that I questioned, but I still think she didn't drop no lyrics. She knew the words to the song. She was very, she was in it, but I think Sam just outperformed her in that moment.
hmm Yeah, I agree. I will say Untucked, there wasn't like a lot that stood out for me. There's a lot of discussion about who's going to give who points. And if it feels like there's definitely some people working the group, like Sam's
She is
trying to get
trying.
people, but nobody's going to give her any points, especially because she's in the top. But I think Sugar was really smart. Sugar's like, I am not giving my points first. Like you can give me, like I'll promise somebody I'll give you points, and I 100% will, but you have to give it to me first because I have trust issues, which I totally get. I do think it'll be interesting because I think Joey and Hershey are talking about, oh, we're the early out, so let's look out for each other. Let's give each other points. I think Sugar will also be in that conversation to get points. I would not be shocked if people are like, sorry, Kennedy, you weren't in the top, but you're going to
Mm.
be in the top, so you're not getting my points. It'll be interesting to see if that happens, but I don't know. I need to see Kennedy get points because if she doesn't move on, I'm going to be very sad.
Absolutely. We'll see what happens because honestly, who knows what's going to happen with these points and what people are going to do. I don't know.
hmm
Look, I don't freaking know, but guess we'll find out next week, now, shall we? But I think we have to take one more news break. Or not. Or not. No, we are. Because we have some things, y'all. It is official. A cast has been dropped. Oh, I should have went past that already, but a cast has been
Ooh, this is
dropped.
Canada's Drag Race All Stars featuring
Y-
Dwight. And
Yeah, Canada's Drag Race All Stars. You guys check it out. Um, why did it go away? I don't know. I'll put it back. But Canada's Drag Race All Stars have been announced. We have seen it. I'm excited to
yep.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
What's going on?
we got
Are we
our
going? Are
official
you?
cast, which I don't see it, but it's okay. It's okay if we don't find it. But we did get the official cast announcement. The season it's going to be premiering July 9th, which is a wild and busy day.
Nobody's shocked at this point at July 9th. I think everything is going to premiere on July 9th
Yeah,
in my life. But
yeah. Big
here's
Brother,
our
Project
official
Runway.
cast. Yeah.
Mhm. This is a strong cast. This is a strong all-star cast. We had talked about it when they were rumored. I do think there's a lot of heavy hitters here. We have 6 out of the 9 have been to the finale
And
of
of
their seasons.
course,
The
yep.
only people that haven't been to the finale were Juicebox, who was first out, Tiffany, who was second out, and Jackie Cox, who made it to the second to last episode of her season. But everybody else here, yeah, I just noticed it says where they placed in their original
Hmm.
seasons. But yeah, everybody here has done really well. So yeah, I'm excited. I will say, Pythia, I'm always going to be rooting for her. She came hard with this promo look. I felt like a few people phoned it in with the promo look. Pythia did not. She was not going to bring anything less than her A game here. So I really love this look. Same with Michaela. I think those are the two that I'm rooting for the most out of this cast. I like a lot of people in this cast, but those are the two that I'm rooting for. I could see them with a crown, and they brought their A game with the promo looks. But yeah, overall, really, really strong cast, and I'm excited. I'm hearing good things about this season too. I've been teased that there's crazy moments. You got that email, Lana, so
Yeah,
we're gonna see.
I'm so very, very excited about this cast. I love watching Canada's Drag Race. Since I've been watching it, it's been one of my favorite franchises to watch. And I think these girls are going to do an amazing job because all, like you said, so many have been in the finale and only a few haven't. And I think this is only going to give us so much more excitement in this season because they're going to all have stuff to prove and they want to be, do really, really well. So this is going to be a sad. Well, every time somebody is eliminated, I'm going to be so hurt. I feel like this is going to be so sad to see somebody go, because I think everybody's coming here with a lot of expectations and a lot of want to do better. But I am rooting for so many people and I like so many people. But my heart of hearts can't not look at Michaela, Pathia, Tiffany, Nira. Like
A
I
middle
just
column, yeah.
that whole middle column and Nira, like I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so
Middle column, middle row.
middle color over. Like I just really, really enjoy them and you should also go check out our cast assessment. We dropped that on our main channel at the Cup Pod. So here on YouTube. So go check out I will and go check that out. Go check out that page and check out our cast assessment that we talked about this cast. And so hopefully here on the Cup, we will be able to talk to some of these amazing queens and get to have some conversations with them after the season or during the season or whatever. And but fingers are crossed. We are going to work hard on making that happen. But yep. I'm very excited. Like I saw this cast at first. I didn't see the rumors or anything because I stay away from rumors and things. So I didn't see the rumored cast. But when this was announced, I was like, okay, I'll check out the Meet the Queens and see, and I'll watch. And I watched it, and I got so excited about this cast. I was like, Aurora. I'm so excited about her too. Let's not this whole column middle. That's who I'm rooting
Yep.
for. It's like Choop Cham. That's who I'm rooting for. Like I'm so excited, and I like Sammy too. Like I was late to the Sammy train, but I'm there. I love her. But yeah, I'm so excited. I can't wait to watch it. I know it's premiering on a very busy premiere night. So am I gonna catch it that night? I don't know. I might not sleep that night. We're going on no sleep, watching TV all the time. No sleep on July 9th. No sleep is happening July 9th. So I'm excited about it.
You
I can't
will.
wait.
I will say you will watch it by July 12th because we will have an episode of Reality Roundup coming out that day.
I will try, but it will be no sleep for sure that weekend on July 9th. I'm not
Mm,
sleeping that night. I'm watching everything, and I got to talk about it, and then I got to watch recaps about it, and I got to see what other people are saying about it. So yeah, no sleep for me on July 9th. I got so much to do, and I'm excited about it. Like I'm gonna watch everything, do it too. But
mhm.
I'm excited about this cast. I think they're amazing, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see what happens next with them. But you know what I do know is going to happen next, David? I feel, can you feel the love tonight? Can you feel the love in the air? Because I feel the love in the air. I do. It's Love Island time, all the love, and we are right smack dab in the middle of all things Love Island USA, and Love Island UK. And right now, we're going to talk about Love Island USA. We are at episode, well, shoot, not episode, because I've already talked about one episode, but here at Reality Roundup, we talk about a week's worth of stuff. So
Right.
um, you can go check out all of my talks about this week of Reality Roundup all on the channel all week. We put up live. We go live every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So go check all those videos out and let us know what you're thinking. But David, I want to get your take on what you're thinking about this week. What stood out to you?
Yeah, I mean it's been a wild week, and since I've been visiting Lana here in Alabama, it's been hard to contain my thoughts. Like we've been letting it slip. I wanted to save things for the podcast, but we keep getting it into discussions. We've been getting into debates. We've been getting
Debates.
lively debates. Fun. We love each other, but we like what blah blah blah. No, it's
What
been
do you
fun.
mean? No, it's been yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's been wild because like in the first week of episodes, I had all my feelings about certain people, and then this
hmm
second week was like, you thought you knew what you felt about these people. No, 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 no. We're gonna start right from the scratch. You're gonna this person that you were loving, you're gonna be like, no, I'm so over you right now, and vice versa. It's been a wild journey. I will give credit to the love triangle of Melanie, Sincere, and Soul. They have been kind of carrying the drama for this season so far, for better or worse.
hmm
They're keeping me tuned in and invested, though. So I've enjoyed that. But yeah, I'm excited to talk about rankings too, because I did do some rankings, and it was a little hard, but I think I'm satisfied with my list after all the events of the week.
Well, then let's get into the rankings. I feel like we can talk about the rankings and what we feel about it and why we rank these people where we rank them. We did
Yep.
individual rankings, and then we did rankings of the couples. So we're gonna start with our individual rankings first. So my individual rankings are as follows. My favorites of this week is Trinity. She's tops of my tops. I love that girl. I feel like she's very even if she doesn't communicate as well as people want her to, she's very open and she says what she needs to say. And so I appreciate her. I think she has given me. I enjoyed her this week. Even she went through some stuff, but I enjoyed her this week. She is definitely one of my. Um, Kata is my second favorite. I think at the beginning of this week she was kind of down a little bit, but by this at the end of this week, she showed me why I do like her. She has been very herself and upfront and like, bam, this is what it is. This is how I like it. This is who, and she's consistent about it. I wish she would have said some other things when she had her little conversation with Bryce, which that nothing burger of a conversation that never needed to happen in the first place. But she stood her ground. She said her piece. I loved her for it, and I think she has been very consistent throughout. So she is somebody who I'm like, yeah, I like her. I really do enjoy her. She's my fave. Um, Casey, I feel like he is the most consistent boy in this village. Like he has been so he has did he make bad jokes? Maybe, but was he being malicious about anything? No. I don't think he was trying to hurt Anaya's feelings at all in his, his misstep. But I also see him not in just his couple with Anaya, but because he's very respectful of Anaya, but I also feel he's very respectful of everybody in that house. And I like watching him being a friend to everybody. I like seeing him being a good partner to Anaya. I like him seeing him being just a good vibe in the villa when people need things or want to just liven up a mood. He's there to do that, and I like that he is able to still be himself. It doesn't feel performative to me personally. I feel like everything he's done has been very genuine and honest, and I like that about him. And I love him building up Anaya, but I also like him admitting when he made mistakes and correcting those mistakes with her. And so I like that about him. So he's one of my favorite guys of the week. Anaya, I love her too. Did I have to give her a couple of whackings this week? Yeah. Absolutely. I can give my fave some whackings. I can be like, girl, you were a little wrong for that, but you were still cool with me. Like you were wrong for sending Melanie to go talk to Cynthia, but then when Casey stopped it, be like, oh girl, calm down. You don't have to do that. You girl. But I still love you. I still love you. I still think you're one of my favorite people and I love her. So we can jump to your fave so we can get your faves out the
Okay,
way. Or talk. That's how we'll do that. We'll go back and forth.
it's a good idea. Yeah, it'll be some of the same people here. But yeah, so I actually have these in order as well.
That's
But my
mine too.
favorite right
Mine are
now.
all in order
Okay.
too.
Okay, good, good. Right now, I'm loving Trinity. I love her energy. I love her dynamics. Like she feels like such a well-rounded person. Like you see kind of every aspect of her. She's not one note, and she says it how it is too. Like I think one of my favorite moments of this week was when Bryce was basically like telling her like I would like to at least have a conversation with somebody. How do you feel about that? I'm not effing with it.
I'm not effing with
I had
it.
to rewind it because yeah, I couldn't hear it at first. I was like, "Did she say what I thought she said?" So I
She sure
rewound it
did.
and I'm like, "Yep, sure enough," because I was on a plane watching her as she said that.
I'm not
Um,
effing with it.
so, so I love that from her. But I also really like Bryce.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you're going to be shocked when you see who my favorite couple is. uh, no. But Bryce, I think, is a really good guy. Like
Yes.
he was kind of dull for me in the first week, but he's stepped it up. I think he's actually really genuine with his interest in Trinity and vice versa. Like I feel
Mm-hmm.
like they are really feeling each other and they're building levels. I don't want to get too much into them as a couple, but I think Bryce is also very honest. Like I think the idea that he wanted to talk to Gata, it was a little wild, but I think he went about it as respectfully as he could.
Yes.
He went and talked to all parties involved. He sat them down in the right order too. I think it
In
was
the
important
right
that Casey
order.
was,
That is very important.
yeah, because not everybody's been doing everything in the right order.
No.
Um, yeah, but yeah, I mean, he talked to Zach, whom we'll get to Zach. You see where he is. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but he talked to him. Zach laughed about it, but he basically like told him like, I'm serious about this. He wasn't saying I'm trying to swoop in and steal her. I just want to see if there's anything there. So I didn't mind that. I know that there are other people who had issues with it a little bit on the podcast, which is fair. But I still really like Bryce. And of course, Anaya. Anaya's been consistently one of my favorites since the beginning. But she does talk a lot. I know they talked about that in one of a challenge, how she's kind of the one spilling the tea. And I've been seeing it as episodes go on. Yeah. But there's just something so endearing about her. She feels kind of like the grounded person in this group, like the person that everybody can talk to. And I feel like she's really good at giving advice for the most part. I did watch back the part with her and Melanie. And I will say, like, after watching it back, it wasn't as explicit sending her there. It was more like questioning, like, yeah, you want to go talk to him now? And then Melanie started to walk and she kind of made a face. But like, if you didn't think she should have done it, you should have said that instead of like, I think Melanie was looking for like a yes or no. You didn't give it to her, so she went for it. But it wasn't as explicit as I think either of us remembered as like sending her up there. But still, like,
no, she didn't say go. She just said, "Should I go up there?" She was like, "Yeah, I'm here if you want to." Like that's to me. That's still okay. Well, if my friends say, I mean, if you want to do that, yes, you know that's what I want to
yeah.
do. You know that's
It
what
seemed
I
more
want
like
to
she
do.
didn't say anything to me. Based on
Yes.
rewatching it back, it just seemed like
I'll rewatch
I think
it
she was
again.
still thinking about it. Yeah, I think she was still thinking about what to say before, and Melody was like up and going before she
I'll
gave it
rewatch
credit.
it again because if I'm misreading it or from what I thought, I would rewatch it again. But it felt like to me, she was like, I mean, yeah, if you want to do that, and that's to me, that's like almost a go ahead. But
Right. But one of the people I did a bigger turnaround this week was Bea, because I was kind of down on her the first week, especially because I like Sean and I didn't like her stepping away from Sean when I thought they were a good match. But Bea is just somebody that she's so blunt and real and usually pretty dang right. She's been giving really strong advice. She's even been trying to extend like a friendly hand to people she's not even crazy about. Like she has not been feeling Melanie, but she's still sitting there like consoling her. Afterwards, she's like, I don't know how to console people. I think she actually does. Also, she just cracks me up. Like I love how she can joke about her disability. Like so quick too. Like there was one line she said in the last episode. She's like, "I'm standing 10 toes down on that, and I don't even have 10 toes." I was like, she just makes little comments like that are so funny. So I was like, I'm really starting to like you, and even like some of the backlash that she was getting from her man for picking somebody for who would tell you that you had spinach in your teeth. And then she gets heat from Gabrielle for picking
Caleb,
Yeah, crazy. So I do think she is going to be a missed presence for me in this house.
absolutely agreed. Well, while we're here, let's go to your like category.
Okay, we'll go to my likes and we'll go back to yours. Another
Mm-hmm.
person I was really down on in the first few episodes was Kata. I think I'm always going to have an issue with bombshells immediately. That's
I
just how
think
I
you
am.
are. I'm
Yeah.
the complete opposite. I don't blame bombshells for what they do.
Yeah. For me though, like you can't separate this from real life because if people are actually here trying to form love connections, the rules of just coming in, seeing a couple and saying, "Hey, I'm going to steal them." If it was in real life, it's a bad thing. If it's on this island, sure, it's in with balance of the games. It feels bad to me. It doesn't feel good.
I mean,
um,
I understand what you mean, especially because you are not like Love Island is not a thing that you watch on a regular, consistent basis. For me, who watches it like season after season after season, it's like bombshells are like that is the job they're coming in to do, and everybody signed up for this show knowing that
Right.
it's going to be bombshells. So I have to separate real life because it's a lot of things in this show that if you do it in real life it is so unacceptable. There's no way I'm gonna accept you talking to
I
one
know.
girl and trying to talking to me, or to having 3 4 people connect. Like there's no way. So I have to separate real life from show. I mean it's to each his own, I guess.
I
But
get it.
yes.
For me, a bombshell, if I were a bombshell, which I never would be, for me, it would be like coming into a house and seeing some. We'll talk about UK. I haven't been watching UK, but you got like
Hmm.
Robin and Sam that have decided we're friends. We're not a couple. We don't have interest in that. Okay, they're fair game. But if I see people that are coupled up and happy, off limits. Like there's no way
But what if
for
you
me.
come in and let's talk about Robin and Sam. Let's say you come in the house and Robin and Sam are the only 2 people that are friends, but you're not interested in Robin or Sam. They are not your type. They are not the people who you're interested in. Then what do you just sit there and be like, oh well, I
Bye.
guess there's nobody. That
Bye.
then what did you come on the show for? Like what did we come to the show for? What
To
did we
find
sign
a
up for?
connection with somebody available.
Then yeah, you would never be a bombshell.
All right, this is a rabbit
But
hole, but I will just say, Kata, I'm really starting to like her. Like she's almost in my faves category. I think she's so pretty. She's so likable.
she is
She
gorgeous.
has she has some of the strongest boundaries of anybody in this
Yes.
house, and I really like that. She just set standards like this is a line I'm not willing to cross while I'm with this person whom I like, and I really respect her for that.
Absolutely.
Mhm. Melanie is probably the biggest person the biggest 180 I've done in the positive direction because I was so frustrated with her by the end of last week and early
Hmm.
into this week because she was just handling herself like a crazy
Wrong.
person.
Crazy person.
Yeah,
Just wrong.
but I love somebody who can screw up, be self-aware enough to know I was doing something wrong. Let me apologize. Let me fix that. Let me correct myself. And I think she's been making those steps pretty consistently, even if she does still mess up. She does mess up.
Hmm.
She does cross lines that make Sincere uncomfortable, but she doesn't gaslight him. She owns it for the most part. She owns what she did. She's like, I'm sorry I made you feel that way. And then she tries to correct herself. And we'll get to Sincere, but he's doing the opposite.
Hmm.
So I really like Melanie. I'm glad she's sticking around, especially because she's bringing such an entertainment factor. Um, and, and I will say, Soul is another person who is probably the most aggressive bombshell in trying to form a connection with somebody who is in a happy relationship, supposedly. Which I don't like that just based on what I've said about the elements of the show because I can't separate it from real life that much. But I want to dislike Soul. I cannot dislike this woman. She is so endearing to me, especially when she talks about real life issues. She talked about her father dying. She talked about like losing hair from stress because of that. She just feels so real, like wears her heart on her sleeve type of person, and it makes it impossible for me to be like, get off my TV. um, so the fact that I have her and Melanie both in the like category is kind of wild to me. I do think she's a little overly sensitive, and this is coming from somebody who would also be overly sensitive. We kind of got into a little bit of a debate about that because I know a big factor in that last episode was when the house guests, the Islanders had to basically pick people for different categories and put a pie in their face. And she was getting kind of overwhelmed and frustrated by the end of it. But I understand being sensitive about it, but I also think she needs to realize they're put in a corner. They have to pick somebody for this. So they might not even think that you qualify, but they had to pick somebody. And maybe you're the closest person to this category that seems negative, but you're also maybe the only person doing something that stands out compared to everybody else who's kind of fading back into the background, kind of doing a consistent thing with their couple, kind of being a bombshell who's really not putting any effort in. You're the only person actually aggressively doing your job, as Lana has put it, like she's doing her job. But it makes kind of sense that she would be picked for some of these categories. So I wish she could have been able to sit there and see it in a logical way and not allow herself to get so hurt, because it was hard to see her crying about this.
And here's where we differ because I feel like she should not have to do that. She should not have to turn off her human spirit and not feel her emotions because of logical decisions. Yeah, we know logically they have to pick somebody, and maybe they picked her because she is the person doing this, or maybe, but like logically is not my emotion. You can't logically turn off my emotions. And feeling what we saw and what we've actually heard with the Islanders, because like even Bea said in the confessional, some of these pies shouldn't have went to her. Like I don't know why they doing it, and we know that on in this. Wait, don't cut me off. we
I'm
know
not.
we know that we don't see all the questions in the game, and because obviously Trinity was also pied, but we didn't see her get her pie, so we don't know what all the questions are. So we know there are times where some of the questions we just haven't seen. But Bea in her confession was like, I don't know if she deserved all those pies that she got. So we know it was probably more than the two that we saw her get. So logically, yeah, maybe these things logically went to her and it was, but feeling wise, it's not a nice feeling when you're getting pie after pie after pie after pie, and you just got there and you're still trying to find your footing with people who have built a connection of all week and they have already clicked up, and nobody's talking to you. Nobody's, hanging out with you except a few people. And the people who you are talking to have already said, like, no, I'm good in where I am. We can talk and be friends, but there's no connection. So you are seeing your life in this game, in this villa, immediately going back out the door because you don't know what the votes are going to be, or if it's going to be a vote, or if it's going to be just a normal recoupling. So you seeing your life in this game dwindling, 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 with every person saying, I'm content in my couple, I'm content in my couple, I'm content in my couple. And then you have one person like, oh, wow, who says they're open, because everybody say I'm open, but they don't act like they're open. Sincere said he was open, and then he started acting like he was open, and he was the only person who she was interested in, because Gabriel was doing the same thing. He said he was open, and he was acting like he was open, but she kissed him and was like, ugh, yuck, don't like that. So he was not an option for her either. But Sincere was. She kissed him and was like, yes, okay, I like that. And so I can understand logically, she probably understood logically, yes, they had to pick somebody. It's not a nice thing, but I can't shut my emotions off because I'm going to think logically. I did, and you shouldn't, especially in a place like that villa where it's pressure on pressure on pressure anyway. If you keep holding stuff in, she was going to explode. So I would rather her cry it out right then so she could
Mhm.
get that emotion out and be like, whew, okay. And she can process that instead of holding it in like, okay, I'm a statue, I'm a stoic. And then explode one day out of nowhere. And folks like, girl, what's wrong with you? Because that's what a lot of people in that villa has done. They will hold their feelings in, or and try to play the cool girl or the cool guy when they see their man or their girl out doing stuff that they don't like, and they want to play it cool. And then all of a sudden, one day out of nowhere, they shoot off like a bottle rocket, and everybody like, "Ooh, what's wrong with you? Why are you flipping out?" So I think that I think KC said it. Her crying was just, or was, I can't remember who said. I think it was a girl said her crying, getting her stresses out, and oh no, they said that to Melanie. Oh, never mind. But crying, but that cry, she needed that cry, and yeah, it's like. I don't think she thought anybody did it maliciously. I really don't believe that Soul thought any of the guys picked her over and over again as a malicious act, but it was still frustrating. It was
Yeah.
still annoying to have to deal with that over and over and over again and thinking, I don't know if these people actually do like me. And I see my life in this villa actually slipping away before I can even get my foot in the door. And so I think the situation of it all was what it was with the soul. And I don't think she should hold it in. I don't think she should have to think logically in situations where your emotions are like, this is too much because she's still human. She's not a robot, and she doesn't have to say logically
Yeah.
speaking, this is all important, and everybody doesn't hate me. But humanly, like she's like, ooh, this is a lot. And so I didn't mind her crying it out and being like, this is just a lot, and giving her time to process it. And I loved the way the villa gave her time to process it. Like Casey was like, I know you're upset and I know you crying and you don't feel it, but just know later on I'm gonna come find you so we can talk. I just want to know you're okay. I loved how Sincere went to check on her to make sure she was okay. But Sincere, I will have words for you when I get to you about what you didn't do and what I think you're trying to do. And it's very annoying. But we'll talk about that. But I do like that the filler was trying, because even Melanie was trying to go talk to her. And I like that people wanted to give her space, but let her know, like, okay, but we are here. So I do appreciate that. But I don't want people to think logically and feel like they can't show their emotions because they're trying to be logical all the time. Sometimes, yes, definitely you should be logical and be like, this makes sense or this doesn't make sense. We should have, but when we're having an emotional moment, I think we should be able to let that breathe and let them have their emotional moment without saying, oh, you're being too overly sensitive about this. I'm feeling
Yeah.
this. This is what I'm feeling.
Yeah, I mean, there might be a little bit of misunderstanding what I've been trying to say about the situation because, well, first of all, let me say about Bea, because I wanted to mention this when you first brought her up. The one person we know that she's not crazy about is Melanie. So her being like, yeah, those should have gone to Melanie. Like, there's some bias there. But as far as Soul, like, I'm not saying, like, don't suck it up, girl. Don't be so sensitive. Like, my
Yeah.
intention in this is because I see myself in her a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I know how easy it is to, like, little things or big things can really make you spiral and
Mm-hmm.
make it hard to just, I don't know, just not go down this depression road. And so it's me wanting to look out for her by
Yes.
saying, "Hey, I
I get that.
wish that you could see that there wasn't malice in here," just because I think it would help her mental health a little bit to see
Mm-hmm.
things that way. And it's easier said than done because I'm the biggest
Absolutely.
hypocrite in this moment. I would be her times 10. It would be like, oh, I need to leave. I need to leave. They all hate me. Like, I would be the worst. And that's why I think, from my perspective, I'm like, no, I don't want you to do this because
Mm-hmm.
I can see, since it's not happening to me, that they don't want to make you like cry. They don't want to
Right.
hurt you. So that's all I've been saying. Actually, and for the viewers, this is a very tamed down conversation version that we had earlier. Like, it was fun.
Mhm.
It was fun. We were lively in our chat earlier.
I mean, but I do, and I understand that, and I agree with you. In certain cases, I do think in certain cases we do need, and I do think she thinks that way. I do think because you can be logically and emotional at the same time. You can be a logical thinker, but an emotional thinker at the same time. And I think she was logical enough to know I'm gonna have to process all of this. I'm gonna have to think about this. I'm gonna need, but she was emotional that she had to cry it out. But she was logical enough to know I have to take a step back, give me some space, give me some time. So, because
Yeah.
I am that person, I am very logical in my thinking. I can think logically, but I'm also emotional. And it's like, when I need to cry, I'm gonna cry, and you're not gonna tell me that I don't need to cry or think smart about this. I'm not saying you said that. I'm just saying I don't have to change being logical and emotional. I think you can be both at the same time. And I think because I think you are that. I think you're a logical person. You think very logically, but I think you're also an emotional person. So I think both things can be true. And I think she handled it well. And like I said, I liked how the villa handled it afterwards.
I agree. Let me finish off my likes really quickly. I don't have a lot to say about him, but Casey, I said he was a little bit dull. He's giving me more dynamics, so I'm liking him more as we go along. I really did like I won't forget about this moment, but that conversation he had with Anaya,
Hmm.
basically, I don't know if he saw specific insecurities about her because, like, I've heard from you specifically how, like, darker skinned Black women can be treated on these shows. But
Hmm.
I think he preemptively may have seen any sort of issues she may have had, especially knowing she wasn't picked in the first group. She was the only person actually rejected in that first grouping that we saw in the first episode. So I loved that he encouraged her about her skin tone. What do you say there? You're the blueprint. I
You're the
thought that was
blueprint.
beautiful. So he's doing really well. He may have had like slight hiccups in the way he's
Hmm.
handled things, but I'm still really liking him. I'm still really liking them as a couple, which you'll see soon. What are your
Absolutely.
likes?
My likes are so I like her. I think she handled things as well as she can coming into this situation. It's never easy to come in as a bombshell, especially when people have completely said no, I'm shut down, we're good, we don't, we don't really we're good, we're content. So what is she supposed to do? So I really enjoyed I like how she's navigating her way through this. Is she aggressively going after what she wants? Yes, but that's what she's supposed to do. And so I am not gonna fault her for doing what she's supposed to do. And any bombshell that comes in should be doing that. If you're not doing that and you get sent home, it's your own fault because you didn't put in the work. It takes work. So I really do like her. Bea is someone else I like. I think she's so blunt and honest and says what she means and means what she says, and she goes stand 10 toes down on it even if she ain't got 10 toes, and I love that about her. I think she is so fun. This villa is going to miss something when since she is gone. It is going to be a very interesting hole in where Bea would fill it up. And so I'm interested to see if people go keep it as real as she has been keeping it, because some people waffle a little bit, but Bea has never waffled on what she said, and I appreciate that so much. I put Bryce back into my like category because I still do like Bryce. I think like Bryce is a good guy. I think he's a little insecure, and he's letting his insecurity show a little bit, which is fine because everybody in that house is a little insecure on some things. And so I think is just, he just needs to realize what his insecurities are and be ready to face them on head on. And we'll talk about his relation, the coupleship of him and Trinity when we get to couples. But I do like Bryce as an individual. I think he's a nice guy. He's a good guy. I think he has well intentions, and I want to see what his, what he can do later on in his intentions. And I put Caleb in my like category because I do like Caleb. I feel like Caleb is very refreshing addition to this villa. He is so chill. He came in knowing what he wanted. He went after what he wanted, but he did it in such a respectful way, I feel. um he had a whole conversation with Corbin even in this episode where they talked and was like, hey, we doing what we doing. Both of them are bombshells, so they both understand what they had to do and what the bombshell mentality is. And they came to the like, hey, it is what it is. I appreciate it. May the best man win. Not knowing that it was America who was putting the votes in America's hands. They have no idea. So he's like, we just go do what we do, and if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. And whoever best man win. And I really enjoyed Caleb, and the fact that everybody in this village is like, he is the most respectful guy. It says something. It has to mean something, because for the girls to come to a consensus that Caleb is the guy who would tell them if they got spinach in their teeth and is very respectful and who remembers coffee orders, like he's
How dare you? How dare you say he would tell you his finish?
Gabrielle, please take several seats with that, because even when she asked you, what specifically did I say that made you mad or upset, you couldn't say anything because there was nothing Maya said that was wrong. She was just complimenting the person who they agreed to was the most respectful. And I like that about Caleb. So yep, he moved to my like category.
Okay.
Now my
What
they
about
all
your
right.
they I?
They all right category. Jen, I think she's all right, but we don't know her because we have not seen her. And so I would love to see Jen more. I want to see what, we saw a smidgen of her personality in the challenge when she did the whole, I think you may be sincere, but you're not honest. Bam! I was like, okay, Jen got a little in her. She got a little feistiness. I like her. So I want to get to know her. I want them to show her more so we can see her personality. But right now, she's all right by me. She hadn't done anything egregious or anything that I'm like, okay. Um, Kenzie, same thing. She's starting to grow on me up. You see, she's moving up a little bit in my all right category. Um, I think her talking to Melanie this week was a little. That's why she ain't moved out of the they I category. Because what you mean you being greedy and you can have a roster, but can't nobody else have a roster? What are you talking about? That's that your entitlement was shown in that conversation. You are not trying hard enough, sincere. What do you, girl? If you don't shut your mouth, like, that was a little pullback. But she's still all right for right now. I'm not gonna tell her to get out my villa yet, but she all right. Sincere, you are close, my guy. You are close to going down to my get out of my villa category because the way you are handling this whole soul Melanie sincere relationship is tragic. It is so tragic. You are lying and gaslighting both of these girls. And it's ridiculous what you're doing right now. I want to like you so much. I want to really like you, but you are making it hard for me to like you. And it's starting to bug me. I should have switched him and Melanie. Yeah, I'm gonna switch him and Melanie in my head. Him and Melanie switch because I think she did way better than you did, sincere. So Melanie goes before you, sincere. You right there next to Zach, in my opinion, because you one step in they are high and one step in the get out of my villa category. So yeah, I don't. You pissed me off this week, and I really want to like you, Melanie. Girl, you did the best you could do. I'm glad you talked to Kenzie. You ain't do nothing wrong when you called. The only thing you did wrong was not tell Kenzie before you going out of order. You tell her before you go pull her man. That's what people need to realize. Before you want to pull somebody else's connection, tell them before so they will be warned, so they will know that you're doing it. So when they see you doing it or they hear you did it, they can't be mad because they already know. That's all I'm saying. But good job on you for turning down the kiss from Mr. Can I Kiss You to everybody, for stopping them like, no. Because out of respect for my girl Kenzie and my connection that I have with Sincere, I'm going to say no. So I appreciate you doing that, Melanie. So that is why you are still in my I category. You moved up. You passed sincere. But I like the way you go, and I think the trajectory could make her go higher. And with her new connection with Corbin, maybe we'll see something happen with that. I still think we are in for a toxic roller coaster ride between Corbin, Sincere, Melanie, and Kinsey. It's about to be a four-way twister turner. Caleb, you are going to be collateral damage, I fear, my friend. And I think you should go talk to Jen. I do. I do think you should go talk to Jen and y'all move on because this is about to be a whirlwind of foolishness that's about to happen between the four of them. But whatever. Zachary, I didn't put you fully in the they get out of my villa, but your foot is in the grave. Like your foot is there. I got you half, one foot in one foot the other. I don't like you right now. So therefore, I'm gonna give you one more week to prove me wrong. Because actually, I'm gonna give you to Sunday's episode because I rank every week, after every episode. So I'm gonna give you the Sunday's episode to change my mind. Because if you don't change my mind by Sunday's episode, get out of my villa. Period. I can't with you. You piss me off. You piss me off. But I'll let you talk about yours.
Okay, so for my day I category, first I had Caleb. So I will say, Caleb, you are a fave when it comes to my viewing pleasure because Caleb is my type. Like he's so attractive to me. Yeah, I want to like Caleb more than I do, but I just don't think I'm getting enough from him. It seems like really one of the new bombshells has gotten a lot of screen time, and the other two kind of become background characters, especially one person. So I just need a little bit more from Caleb. I really would like it. I know that they have weird rules for this show, but for me, if there's two girls coming in and one guy coming in, I think they should be able to explore each other. I get for drama reasons that they don't want to do that, but I do think Caleb's best match is another bombshell, Jen. So I would love to see them to be able to talk soon. Okay, so now Gabriel, you might be surprised by how high he is for me because I've not been the biggest fan of Gabriel. And I was pretty annoyed with him at points this week. I was annoyed with him for kissing the two girls before he talked to Bea about it. I was annoyed with him for getting mad at her for telling Caleb that he would tell somebody if they had spinach in there. Like that was insane for me. The only reason he is this high is because when the votes came in and he saw that he was now going to be coupled up with Jen, he didn't do the normal, like, standard reaction. You could see the devastation in his eyes. He made it very clear in that moment who his person was, and it was Bea. He was upset. He wasn't going to fake it, and that made me gain a lot of respect for him in that moment. So that was enough to bump him up. He would have been in the lower category if it wasn't for that moment. So I respect that for him. I really think that they might have potential. Like, this is the most I've believed in him and Bea. It's sad that it came as she was eliminated, but I could see potential for them working outside of the house. Like, there was a moment where I'm like, is he just gonna get up and leave? Like, go with his girl? Like, if I was feeling it, I would do that. Like, if Caleb got voted out, I'm coming with you. Okay. Corbin is next on this list. There are things that he does that's frustrating. But I think that the thing that's bothering me the most and not allowing me to put him in the like category is just because I feel like he's putting on a facade. And even Kenzie called him out. He's like, you don't show emotions. It feels like he knows cameras are watching him, and he always is too cool for everything. Just the way he talks. Like, yeah, everything's down in this tone. Yeah, can I kiss you? Like, it's all that. Like, I need to see levels. I need to see personality. Do you talk to your mother that way? Like, you don't. You probably show the real you. And I don't think we've seen the real Corbin yet. So once he gets there and he's able to be vulnerable, show emotion, I think I could really like the guy because he seems like he's a good guy. I just need more. Kenzie is the lowest of my and I'm kind of the opposite. Like, you went higher on her, I went lower on her because I really was rooting for her early on. And I did like her for the most part this week. The real issue that I had was her deciding, I'm going to explore. I'm in this couple, but I also want to see how things go with Caleb. Sure, fine. Caleb was like respectful and open with that, or Corbin was respectful and open with that. Like, you're allowed to do that. But as soon as he did the same thing, I know he didn't have the conversation first, but as soon as he kisses or like asked to kiss somebody, she loses her mind. Not only on her, or not only on Corbin, but also on Melanie, who didn't really do anything wrong here and did go and talk to you. Like, sure, she pulled your guy first, but she still shut down the kiss, and she told you that she told you about the conversation. And Kenzie was just going to be rude to her in the moment, which I didn't like. She probably would have been on the get off my island if we had done this after that episode. But I don't know. I'm interested to see how things go with Caleb. I think she's really starting to like Corbin a bit more. They're still making out, even if they like have like kind of little fights, I guess. They're still making out at the end of the night. So I don't know. I think she does have like an interesting storyline between the two guys, and it's not as icky as one of the other love triangles we're getting. So, but for now, she's aight.
Get out of my villa. What we got?
Okay, get out of and this really pained me to do this because I loved Sincere. He was my favorite guy the first week. I was really rooting for him, and I just really felt early on Melanie was the one mishandling everything. And it is just completely swapped to the other side. Because I think Melanie is handling things as well as she can. Sincere he's being really scummy with how he's treating her and Soul. Um, he it's the gaslighting that's really bothering me. Like, why do you don't not only gaslighting the girls, but he's gaslighting me because he will have a conversation with Melanie. I'm still rooting for him and Melanie to work things out. I like them when they're on and when things are going well. And he will assure her and be like, guess what? I'm not going to kiss her anymore. I'm not interested in her anymore. Um, and I'm like, okay, I believe you. Great. Thank you, Sincere. Finally, it finally clicked with you. And then he goes and pulls Soul and hangs out with her for hours. And it just is so inconsistent, especially like he is telling other people, like, oh, I've never felt anything in this villa like I did when I kissed Soul. Guess who's going to see that when they get out? Even if you and Melanie work things out, she's going to see that. How do you think she's going to feel after she sees that? Do you think you're going to be a happy couple after that? I don't think so. He's lucky that both girls have been extremely patient with him. I'm not. I'm losing my patience with Sincere. I don't want him. I don't want him to leave, really. But like, I'm getting sick of this. Like, it's really
Mm-hmm.
frustrating me. So actually, I will say, Lana, I did have Zach higher than Jen, but that's okay.
Mm.
I'll talk about Jen first because they're pretty close for me. Jen, really, the only reason she's on the Get Off My Island, um, or Get Out of My Island, is because I'm not getting anything from her. I'm not getting her like really trying to have conversations with people. It doesn't feel like she's putting any effort in. And it's unfortunate the way things worked out that she was not eligible to leave. Like, I wish there was an option to vote for no one because Jen should have gotten the vote for no one. You should not be coupled up with anybody because you're not trying. Nobody's really trying with you. We saw the slightest thing from Gabrielle, which makes sense that like the slightest little breadcrumb of interest was all that the audience needed for you to vote, but you're not trying. I think she would try with Caleb. I would like to see if now that they have the ability to try to couple up with
Mm-hmm.
each other, I would like to see if her and Caleb start having those conversations. I think they'd be really cute, like uh, kind of a Barbie and Ken couple. It could work, but right now she's so boring that I want her to go. Zach, I didn't like Zach the first week. I didn't like him this week either. There was a moment where I was starting to like get used to the fact that him and Kata were a couple, and I was coming around a little bit. But really, what really turned me off is like this weird bro obsession he has with Bryce, and him being the outer saboteur for Bryce. I think a lot of the weird behavior we got from Bryce this episode was directly because he has this bug in his ear that will not shut up because for some reason he doesn't like Trinity. And so that's really been off putting to me, like so off putting for me. I wonder if Kata knows that he's doing this. I wonder if he talks about Trinity like that to her.
Mm-mm.
Probably knows better, but it's just it's been an uncomfortable like moment that probably hasn't stood out to a lot of other people that watch the show. I don't know if people online are talking about it. It
Oh,
stood
they
out
are
to both of us.
talking. They're talking about it. Oh, everybody's talking about it.
Okay, yeah, but for that alone, he can go. I would feel bad for Kata because I think she does really like the guy, but he's just so annoying right now.
Yeah, agreed. I agree. Um, I put those loud birds out there. Wonder where you are to have those loud birds. I don't know. Uh, oh, I went too far. Anyway, um, mine is just the same two people I've already had, Gabriel and Corbin. I've been saying I don't like him. Now Corbin is inching up a little bit in my mind, but not enough for me to move him out of the get out of my villa. I everything you said about him, I agree with. He's not showing. I think it's a facade. I think he's faking or not faking it for any relationship, just for the cameras. He's just not giving anything extra. Gabrielle's the same way. Like, I don't feel like he's trying to do anything. He's just sitting around. He's like, I'm a good looking Brazilian. That's all I need to be. And it's like, I need more. I'm interested in seeing what this connect what him and Jen have because we haven't seen anything except that one conversation. But at this point, he can go, Corbin can go, Zach can go, and I'll be okay. I would be okay with any of them leaving, and then having new people come in. Like I said, Caleb and Jen get together, and we have some more people come in and shake up some stuff. It'll be fine. But like somebody come in for Kata, or if Kata decide to leave with Zach, fine, whatever, girl, you can do better. But sure, um, but if that's your relationship that you want, but if she don't, bring somebody in for Kata. Like any of those three could go for me, and I'll be fine. I'll be fine. But I will say this one thing you said about Sincere that I totally agree with. It was the whole gaslighting thing. I what I saw that I hated the most about Sincere this week was him stopping Melanie from going to talk to Soul when Soul was upset. And Melody's like, I just want to go talk to her, make sure she's okay. And Sincere stopped her, was like, no, no, go, give her space, let her calm down, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, why would you do that, Sincere? Why would you stop her? But we all know why you stopped her, Sincere, because you were afraid that if the two of those girls started talking, they would compare notes to the lies and the gaslighting that you have been putting both of them to. You know what, Sincere? You can get out of my villa. Honestly, sincerely, you can get out of my villa too. Because yeah, why would you do that? Why would you stop Melanie from talking to Soul? And we know why, because you don't want them to compare notes, because you have been lying to the both of them. You Melanie will tell her that you told her that that kiss didn't mean nothing. Y'all wasn't talking about nothing. It wasn't that deep. You don't like her. You was just chatting to be nice. You said all those words. And then Soul will say, well, he told me I was very refreshing. That was one of the better kisses he's had in a long time. And guess what? Other people can back up that story that Soul say. If Soul tells you he said that that was one of the best kisses he had, because he done told the boys that too. So they all can back that story up. And Soul can say he was talking about how he's never felt like this before. This is the best he's felt in a long time. And he's so they compare notes. Sincere, you look like the asshole you are. Because that is what you're being in it right now. So yeah, let me Sincere can get out of my villa too if he continues to act this way. Because honestly and truly and sincerely, I don't care about you anymore. Honestly, I don't. Because that gaslighting, and that Melanie and Soul deserve better than that. They both deserve better than that. So yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Agree. Can I say one more thing about Sincere? Another thing that
absolutely.
kind of Yeah, another thing that kind of bothered me, and it actually probably makes sense why he did this now, is he was the one who told Anaya that, oh, Casey said that
Hmm.
Soul
Hmm.
is looks like his ex-girlfriend. Oh, don't tell him I said that. It makes sense in hindsight. He probably wanted to squash that because he was interested in Soul. So he didn't want Casey to have any interest in her. But I didn't
And
like that.
I like that, and I think he did it because he wanted somebody else to know what Casey said, because it makes him not look as bad. It makes him look like he's not the only person interested in Soul, because nobody else showed the interest. So if Casey is there too, see, is somebody else interested in her too? That's not what Casey said. And you, sir, are just, ugh, no, no,
Yep. I did love
no.
Anaya was like, "Hey Casey, so Sincere told me," like right after Sincere said, "You didn't hear that from me."
Baby.
Oh
Let's get
yes, she did.
into, yes, she did. And you heard it directly from you. Let's get into the couples. So, my couple rankings are as follows. Anaya and Casey are my first number one couple. I think they are a great couple. They got, like I said, I think they are working through their issues and better. Yes, I changed the pictures because I thought these were just much cuter as couple pictures. But I think they are um they're handling their the little rocks, but they are doing really well together. I think they can grow together. I think a test is going to have to come in for Anaya and Casey, and I don't know who is going to come in for first, but I do think they need to be tested and seeing if they could, with the whole weather any storm that comes their way, if it's going to be either a bombshell coming in or they stand their ground to Casa, and Casa is their test. But I do think they need to have that test to see if they can weather through. But they are still my favorite couple as of this episode and this week. Bryce and Trinity are still my second favorite. And when I tell you these two couples for me are very interchangeable, which they have changed very back and forth throughout the week. They're very interchangeable. The only reason they're in this second place position is because of what went down between Bryce and Trinity, and they had their little hiccup. But I do think them coming back together is very, I think they had the most important conversation that they could have together in this last episode when they talked about the differences, and both of them mentioned that how they were nervous and scared about if someone's your other type coming into a tea, would you just drop and leave me? Because Bryce was like, if your guy, if a person comes in and is your type to a tea, I'm afraid that you would just go. And she rolled her eyes when he was like, because you're traditional type. She rolled her eyes like, she's sick of hearing traditional type because that's not what if she wanted her traditional type, she would have went for KC. She went for you. She chose you. You chose her. Like she chose you. And she chose you twice. So I'm like, Bryce, I need you to let it go. But then she was like, but do you not think that don't make me nervous to think if some brunette model type comes in and looks like Kata, you would just go off and run? And I just need them to talk through their talk through their feelings, talk through their empathy. But I think they're doing that, and I can appreciate that. So we'll see. Zach and Kata, sure, is more for Kata, less for Zach. I think Kenzie and Caleb are my fourth couple because I think they could actually be a really good couple if they try. If she puts in the work and tries, she could be a good couple. Um, can you still hear me? Okay, cool, because I didn't know. My earbuds was acting weird. Uh Soul and Sincere being fifth for the same reason. I think they could work if they try, but I don't even know if I want Soul with Sincere anymore at this point. Same thing with Melanie and Corbin. I think they could be a good couple if they try, but I don't even think they are going to try. I I fear that Soul and Caleb could be collateral damage in between the four, which is going to go on between the four of these people, Kinsey and rolling back to Caleb, and I mean to Corbin, and Melanie running back to Sincere, and they doing this thing, and Caleb and So are collateral damage and just crazy. And I don't know what to say about that. Hopefully we don't know what the case is. And the only reason is Gabrielle and Jen are in my last place because we don't know nothing about them. We ain't seen them talk about once. And I just need to they need to give me something. Or no. What about you?
Yeah, so we have some similar things. I don't think anybody's moved more than a couple of spots higher or lower than yours. But yeah, for me, number one, I'm really rooting for Bryce and Trinity. They're my two favorite people in the villa right now. I think that they are one of the more realistic stories of a connection that I've seen. Like, this is normal for people to start here and kind of build. And it's not all like carnal, like sex immediately. So I just kind of like seeing the grounded beginnings that they've had, and just each time they affirm that they like each other. I just wish they could fully believe it. I do think there's kind of an unspoken thing when they have conversations about not being each other's type, and it felt like Trinity came the closest that they've come to actually like saying the unspoken thing. Like, it's about their race.
It's about race. Race. It's literally about race. And that's what I think their uncomfortability is coming from. And I'm glad she said that so he can stop being so scared to say it. Like, look, I'm sorry I cut you off, but white folks, it's okay to talk racism with black folks. We understand. We live it. We understand. You could say, "Hey, I'm uncomfortable with the interracial thing." It's okay to speak about race. It's just how we speak about it that makes it either good or bad. So I love that she started that conversation and he was able to hear it, and so they can lean into it a little bit more.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely agree. But I'm just like you, very, very, very close second for me is
Mhm.
Anaya and Casey. I really love them together. I think they're really sweet. I think the only thing that's really kept them from being number one for me, I mean, they were initially, I guess, but what's keeping them from being number one for me is I still am looking for a little bit more personality from Casey.
I
Like,
get you. I get you.
I just don't like if you told me to like tell you about him as a person, I couldn't tell you very much at all. And I'm sure they're having those conversations, but we're just not seeing it because we got crazy people in the bottom row here doing
Hmm.
things that are stealing the screen time. Screen time. Number three for me, like you, it's solidly it has to be them
It has to
because
be.
I think Kata and Zach are probably the two people they might be the two people the most out of these couples that have felt the most locked in on each other.
Hmm.
um, Neither of them seems to have any interest in pursuing anything else, so I like that. I like that aspect, even if I like Kata way more than I like Zach right now. um, sure, I would think they would be a great couple, but yeah, they don't excite me like my top two couples. But number four for me, and this has to do with me, just I'm really rooting for Melanie. I've seen a growth arc for her, so I want to see Melanie make that connection. She seems more self aware than I expected, because people who are self aware can really screw up, as long as they know that they screwed up, and it just shows there's room for growth, and she's showing that growth already. So her and Corbin, I don't know if they have they don't have the connections. I don't think that the top three do, but it could build. I, I think they might need to just honestly start pursuing the connection with each other,
Hmm.
because I don't know. I don't know if their previous connections are going to have a second life. I think Corbin is more likely to have a second life with Kenzie, but I don't believe Sincere when he's like, "It's okay, we're going to make things work." I don't believe him. I think he's now that he's with Soul. I think we're going to see the night montage that they're going to be making out. They're going to
Hmm.
be cuddling. Um, but number five for me is Kenzie and Caleb. Sure, fine. They look good together. Another Barbie Ken type of couple. I'm losing investment in Kenzie. I did like her more. So right now, sure, maybe pursue something with Caleb and it could go somewhere, but I think I'd rather see Caleb with somebody else. Number six for me is Soul and Sincere. And that's just because I do see that they like each other. So that's something at least. That's like the bare minimum I need for them to not be last. I just, once again, think Sincere is insincere. Man, what an unfortunate name, because you know that those jokes are going to be coming nonstop. But yeah, I think Soul could do better. Um, but yeah, number seven for me it has to be Jen and Gabrielle, just because there's no really solid foundation for them as a couple. Like it doesn't fully make sense, other than the fact that Jen was forced to be with somebody. I think one of my favorite things about the last episode, it was so funny to me, is when it was announced that the votes were going for Jen to be with Gabrielle. You saw her face; she has this big smile, like she's so happy. And then it cuts to Gabrielle and Bea, and you just see kind of like horror in his face. Like he's clearly not happy. He's clearly not faking any sort of enjoyment in being paired with Jen. And then it cuts back to Jen, and you just see that smile just kind of slowly fade, because she's seeing what we're all seeing. Like, oh, Gabrielle's not happy about this. So if I were her, I would have been like, you know what? On second thought, You stay, Bea. I think I'm out. I don't think I need to be paired up with somebody who doesn't want to be paired up with me. So yeah, that's the reason that they're the bottom couple for me. I don't know. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. Maybe he'll move on very quickly. We'll see. But yeah, overall, that's my rankings. Um, yeah, I think that as long as those top three couples are still together, I think it's going to be hard for anybody else to kind of creep up into that top category for me, especially those top two. Like the head and shoulders are above the other couples in the rankings. So yeah, we'll see.
We shall see. 'Cause, I agree with that 100%. That I don't see my top three changing much if these four are the couples, but we shall see. I guess. I guess we can. Um, let's take a quick switch to Love Island UK. Check out our live later on today where we are talking Love Island UK. So you'll get the full thoughts on UK. This one's just gonna be my highlights. And I'm just gonna say this, baby. Drama is ensuing and people are losing their minds in here. We got people closing off week one, and then it's Trouble in Paradise week two. Oh, shocker. I'm surprised. But because it's still early to be closing off in a show where literally that is the word they use. We're closed, we're locked in. Like nobody else could come in and tell us. Lola and Fitzy or Sean, that's crazy work. That's crazy behavior to lock in on week one. And then week two, now y'all mad because you found out something that you didn't know about her. You know why you didn't know that about her? Because it's week one. It's week one. We locking it in on week one. You don't know anything about this person. You know certain things. Yes, y'all talked about some things, but then you find out stuff that you didn't know about. Like, oh, you only want a financially stable man like that? Like, not a financial stable man is a deal breaker for you? I didn't know that about you. Because you didn't ask her about that. Y'all don't have those kind of conversations. It's week one. It's crazy. But challenges made a lot of drama for people this week. People going out on bombshell dates with other bombshells and acting out of their butt right now. Ope, Ope, come to the front of the line, sir. You are reckless. And then now you're mad because your reckless behavior has caught up to you. And you have not just messed it up with Angelista, who no longer wants you, but you have also messed it up with the bombshell who chose you, and now she no longer wants you. You have went from having two women to having none, and now you are, you are. This was this week was not a good week for Ope. Like honestly, honest to goodness, this week was horrible for you. Horrible. And I root for everybody black, but I can't root for folks who are not rootable, and you are not rootable. It is horrible. Like, not. You went on a date with the bombshells, and that's fine that you want to explore, but don't lie to Angelista and tell her everything is good, y'all good. I'm perfectly fine at the pace we going. I'm not, we're good, we're good. But then as soon as you get around other people, like, oh, my head is spun, I'm done, I can't do it. I can't I can't trust myself around people. Like, who says that? That's gross. That's creepy, weird. Um, so, and then when our Lion King and walked up in the door, now you getting nervous and you shaking in your boots and you mad because Angelista decided she go kiss him and she didn't kiss you. You know why? He made her feel safe enough to kiss. You have to make people feel safe enough to kiss. You didn't make her feel safe enough, and she moved on, and she's happily gone. She's gone away from you. Like, she's with her new man, and it is what it is. And Victoria ain't feeling you either because you want to act like when Victoria picked you in the recoupling, you huffing and puffing and acting real weird, like you didn't want to be picked, but you gave her all the green lights to pick you, but you want to act like you ain't want to be picked. That's a problem. Not a good week for you. We had a lot of couple swaps too this week. We first of all, let me talk about my poor departed Robin. We lost Robin, and I'm very sad about that. I really enjoyed Robin. I loved her energy. I loved her personality. Love that for her. But she did not get picked when Simba and um, Tommy came in, two new bombshells, Simba and Tommy. She did not get picked out of the three girls. Tommy picked Ellie, Simba picked Angelista. So Robin was dumped, and I feel bad for her. But she didn't find the connection that she was looking for. So it is what it is. Somebody who was very successful on the bombshell dates though, that is Sam. Sam went there, found who he was looking for. He indulged in both bombshells like he should because he was single and he had nobody. He indulged with the bombshells, found the bombshell that he liked. So Sam is now with Namibia, which I'm like, period. And it seems to be going well for them. I think they're staying out of drama as of right now. We'll see how that transforms later, but I'm very happy for Sam. Um, Another new couple, Samraj and Mika, are back together because Samraj and Priya, they having their own issues, but Samraj and Mika are back together. Happy for that because I do like Samraj, but I really, really like Mika. So I'm really happy for her, and I think her and Samraj do make a better connection than Samraj and Priya. They only got together so both of them they can all stay in the villa anyway, so that's fine. But Priya was more interested in Lorenzo, who she is now coupled with, but Lorenzo is now feeling a little that he let go of Jasmine, who is now with Kevin, who is Aiden's brother. It's a crazy, crazy world in the UK Love Island. Because Kevin came in and he was coupled with Ellie, who was also with Aiden before she left. So that was a weird dichotomy going on between Aiden, Kevin, and Ellie. And then Ellie breaks it off with Aiden. Was like, I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't like how you were moving because Aiden literally told Yasmin the day before they kicked her out of there was that if we had a recoupling, I would choose you. And so Ellie finds that out. So she's like, well, if that's the case, I have nothing, I don't want nothing else to do with you. So we're done. And she's going to focus her attention on Kevin. But Kevin believes that Ellie still kind of want Aiden because Aiden still kind of want Ellie. He literally called Yasmin Ellie in a conversation, which is crazy work, crazy work. But they have this weird. I think the fact that she cut him off made him want her a little bit more because that aspect of the chase is better, and so he kind of still wanted her for a minute. Um, but that's a weird one. But Kevin was he liked Ellie, but he was more interested in Jasmine anyway. So he pursued Jasmine a lot more. They are now a couple together, Jasmine and Kevin. So good on them. Ellie is with the new bombshell Tommy, so she's still good. Um, but then Ellie girl, I have a little because what you mean? You telling Aiden maybe y'all cut it off too fast. We spinning the block? Oh my god. No, we don't spin the block. Once it's done. The block is closed. But she feel like she might have cut it off a little too quickly. Maybe she was something there. So we go see what the drama unfolds between Ellie, Aiden, Yasmin. That situation going on. Because Yasmin is also still liking a little bit of Lorenzo, who's now with Priya. Because him and Priya was having a good moment, kissing in the hideaway and things like that. So him and Priya together because Jasmine is now with Kevin, but now Jasmine and Lorenzo are still like circling each other. So Priya is having an issue with now Jasmine and Lorenzo because she thought Lorenzo and her were good, but Jasmine is like, well, we still cool, and they still circling each other. It's a mess in the UK. Messy boots. Who else is together? Who did I forget? I talked about them already. Opie is with Victoria, but she don't want him no more. I don't know whether that's gonna happen. Um, I think I talked about everybody. I think I talked about everybody. It's messy in the UK. These people are all. It started off very boring. I was almost done with it. I was like, oh, this week is gonna be it for me. I don't think I'm gonna make it through the season. But it picked up because Ope and Simba got into it because Opie tried to call himself getting a little rowdy with Angelista because she kissed Simba, and Simba was like, first, what we're not going to do is come at her like that. She did what she wanted to do. She's allowed to do whatever she wanted to do. And Ope and Simba have this weird, it's not weird to me because I understand, because we want to be brothers. We want to show that we got each other's back because we bros. We two black men in this villa. We got to, stick together and show that we can, coexist. But we also are going for the same people. And it's a little tight. And so they got a little tight with each other. They was in each other's faces. They were yelling at each other. And Simba kind of ate him up. He was like, you had two girls, now you have none. You want your cake and eat it too, and you can't do that. And he was like, what you mean I got two? He was like, you had two girls. You went on a date and took a piss on them, and now you have none. Neither one of them want you. And you just gonna have to take that L, bruh. And Opie is like, I'm not taking it. Not it. When I tell you the drama made me go, I haven't felt like that for UK in a minute, so I'm very happy at that. But I will give my full thoughts later on today, so y'all can go check that out here on the cup. So, period.
Mm-hmm. And I just saw there's been a couple dumped on Friday. So interesting tea. I just looked up the couple, so I'm sure you'll fill everybody in when you do.
Yeah, I will fill everybody in, and couples that are leaving, couples that aren't here anymore. So we'll still check it out.
Nice.
Well, next week, y'all, we have a new show joining the fray. Like we don't have enough to talk about, but who don't need another drag show to talk about? We love that here. Solo Las Mas is dropping next Tuesday, so we will be talking about Solo Las Mas on our main channel at the Cup Pod over there. Full recaps will happen over there, but we will also be giving our highlights for it over here. So check out Solo Las Mas, and we'll be talking about it.
I'm excited for it. I hope it's a good season. I love La Masaraga.
Well, me too. I hope it's a good season as well. But you all, we have been here for 2 hours, 45 minutes. And we have talked about everything that we could talk about under the sun. And it's still my birthday weekend, so I really want to go celebrate. So we're going to go do that. We thank you so much. If you stayed this whole time, you are absolutely the realest one. You are the realest one. Drop us in the comments. Drop a heart in the comments. Or drop a birthday cake in the comments if you stayed around the whole time. Let me know if you did that. That'll be great. I really do appreciate you all for joining. I love you so much. Thank you for your support. Follow us all continue to follow us on this channel and all of our other channels. All the links will be in the description below, as well as our audio podcast links, our Patreon links, all of our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky, and where you can get your cup mug here at lanagcreations.etsy.com. Link is in the description below, and if you look to the right of the screen, there is a QR code. So get your cup mug, period. I'm gonna get out of here because honestly, we gotta go. So we'll see y'all next time. Cheers, everybody. Bye.
Cheers.